This is the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
I just want to look in Santa's bag. Just want to look and see what he has. Cool. Cookies. Somebody's getting a bong. Papers. Ooh, there's the weed. New York City diesel. I could smell it a mile away. Looks like Santa's favorite. Smells like a hits on it every day. Just want to look in Santa's bag. Just want to look and see what he has. In Santa's bag. Just want to look and see what he has. In Santa's bag. Just want to look and see what he has. Just want to look in Santa's bag. Just want to look and see what he has. Orion's Haze 1, Orion's Haze 2, Orion's Haze 3. Amnesia Haze, Neville's Haze. How hazy am I gonna be? Big lava jelly house. I knew that'd be a part of his past. A coyote from Hawaii, I ain't no lie. Santa high, and I'm gonna try. I just wanna look inside Santa's bag. Just wanna look and see what he had. Just wanna look in Santa's bag. Just wanna look and see what he had. Oh my God. Check it out. A vaporizer, a pollinator, mini matches. What the hell? Oh, I love the dumb brain. I did naughty, I did bad, I did sugar and spice. I did rowdy and I did mad, and I did everything twice. So check me off of your check-in list. Yo, you wanna check something? Check this. I just wanna look in Santa's bag. I just wanna look and see what he had. Just wanna look and see what he had. Just wanna look in Santa's bag. Just wanna look and see what he had. Oh yeah. Bingo. Santa's got it going on. Oh yeah, I knew that'd be in here. New York City diesel, I could smell it a mile away. Looks like Santa's favorite. Smells like he hits on it every day. Orion's Haze 3, Rokarai Haze, El Magico Haze, Amnesia Haze, Neville's Haze, LA Confidential, MK Ultra, Sensi Star, King Hassan, Griezmann Malika, Caramella Cream, Cushion.
Just a stroll without a care, cause I'm going down the road to a brand new place, and I'll get there with a smile on my face. Yeah, so lift me up, I'm moving on, singing and dancing while I play my song. Yeah, I'm having a good time, keeping it going. Come on, clap your hands and won't you sing along, and now let's take it up high. Give our dreams their wings to fly. Gotta keep the fire, keep the fire burning, keep the hope alive. You gotta keep it turning.
Countdown to launch. It's the Medical Marijuana
Launch commit.
Radio show.
Guidance is internal. Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. Power cleared.
The Medical Marijuana Radio show is a production of the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
You tuned in to that Medical Marijuana show. 855 Triple M Radio.
Keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal.
Hey. You tuned in to that Medical Marijuana show. 855 Triple M Radio.
Folks, Denise ain't here, but we are live in Detroit. Happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, Steve is the host with the co-host Denise. Starting at noon Saturdays every week. Yes, we keeping you legal. Legislators and lawyers, doctors and the growers. The show is for the people. Michigan medical marijuana, no hassle. We talk about anything, any issue we can handle. Call us up and let us know what is on your mind. And make sure when you do it legal every time. You tuned in to that medical marijuana show. 855 Triple M Radio.
Keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal, keep it legal.
You tuned in to that medical marijuana show. 855 Triple M Radio.
Keep it legal, keep it legal.
I don't know, is there a way to keep it legal anymore? I'm not quite sure about that. I'm really questioning, is there a way to keep it legal? Can we do that? You know, we started the show back in April 2 of 2011. And when we started this program, it seemed like that's where things were going. We were going to keep it legal. I don't know if it happened that way or not. If you've got Billy Bong railing against everything we've got to do with this program, how can you keep it legal? This law has been hijacked, but it hasn't been hijacked by anybody other than Bill Schuette, if you ask me. Billy Bong's a problem. Welcome to the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. It is just before Christmas. It is the 21st of December, 2011. And looking back on the year, we got lots of stuff to look at. And looking forward into the coming year, we got lots of stuff to look at. I'm radio show host Steve Greene, patient, caregiver, advocate, medical marijuana activist, radio man extraordinaire. Whatever. I'm going back to the logo. Oh, logo away. There we go. Did you see that stuff on the front of the show? Did you happen to catch the... I'm going to play it again for you if you didn't see it. I'll play it again right now. Here we go. Here we go. It's an Apple iPhone app.
Walking down the sidewalk, kicking my feet as I'm moving to the music, step to the beat.
Check it out. It's for ASA. Americans for Safe Access released today. Merry Christmas. It's an iPhone application. You can get it for your iPad. Look at all the stuff that it does. This is badass. I was trying to do this myself, but they beat me to it. You sign in with Facebook and share it with your friends. This looks like a regular TV commercial. Look, send letters to local politicians demanding safe access. Oh, I wish I had a calendar. I hope it does. Look at this. It's pretty badass. Android version coming soon, April 2011. How cool is that? Okay, I'll put the TV picture back on. There you go. There you get my ugly mug again. I just think that that's really, really cool that Acer released that iPhone app. I've got to re-sign in. I've got to put a new credit card number in my iTunes account. I wanted to be one of the first guys to download that puppy. Wow, is that cool? Somebody finally putting some, technology to the gear stones there, kind of like this show tries to do. Why don't you take the technology of the day and apply it to the problems at hand? Maybe you'll get somewhere. That's the overall idea. So, a Merry Christmas. The show's an hour long today, folks. Immediately following this show, you will hear last night's episode of I think it's episode, 26 of the Hidden Stash Show. Smokie Cush's Hidden Stash Show will play immediately following this program. So, the podcast is a 2-hour podcast today. The first hour being this show live. The second hour being last night's show. Tomorrow, you'll hear the Planet Green Trees show, which is airing live tonight. You can get that over at planetgreentrees.com. Is it Planet Green? I think it is. I'll have to look that up. I'm sure I'll get somebody here. So we're getting a call now from Richard Clement Sr. Let's take that call because I think it's rather important. Richard, can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
That's a good thing. Richard is the guy that heads up the whole Recall Bill Schuette campaign, correct, sir?
That's right.
Where are we getting with that? We started the big push on December 7th so that we could get enough signatures. We need 1 million of them by sometime early March, right?
March 5th.
March 5th. There you go. So tell us about what we got to do and how are we organizing? How can we get better organized? How can we recall this bastard Billy Bong Bill Schuette?
Billy Bong, the best organized by I'm pretty sure this.
You're breaking up, Richard. You're breaking up on us. You're coming in and out. Can you step where you get a better signal?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're just kind of coming in and then out and then in and out. It's kind of weird.
Station. What we need to do with the people.
It's still Richard. It's still doing us. You might want to call us back. It's coming in.
Is this better? Is this better?
Yeah, it seems like it's going okay now.
Yeah, I took it off a speakerphone, but what I've done, what we would need to do as a group is to use our compassion centers in every county to gather signatures and just notify people in the community. And what we do is just push the signatures at cityhallrecall.com to spread the word for everybody, get at least 2 or 3 people that they know and reach out to the patients. In Lansing, we have a recall center at Michigan and Magnolia Streets in Lansing, Michigan, for an example of a recall resource center. Currently, it's going kind of slow because of the holiday, but I just heard from the Sierra Club. They're not Shooty fans either, and I hope we can get together with them. But
who's this? You heard from who?
The Sierra Club.
Sierra Club. Oh, yeah. Well, for sure. I can see why they wouldn't be friends of his.
Oh, yeah. He's a big polluter on their side, and he just got a hold of me the other day. But what we have to do is just, one, use our compassion centers in every county as recall resource centers, and just press and press and press, okay?
Right.
And what it's doing is making him, putting him on notice. It's not making him happy that somebody's trying to recall him, you know.
Well, I think if we keep his feet to the fire, something's got to happen.
Absolutely. Well, not only his feet, but your actual state legislator representative feet to the fire. And hoping in 2012 we could just make it legal, and that'll be doubling his feet to the fire, because this man has dedicated an entire division within the Attorney General's office to sabotage the entire law.
Well, that's what he is. He's really the meat puppet of Dow Chemical in this whole mess. He wants to be the national meat puppet of Dow Chemical inside the politics arena, so that he can keep things the way that they want them to be to make money for Dow Chemical and for his own his own pocketbook.
Yeah. We're talking not just Dow Chemical, but Monsanto, the big pharmaceuticals, and every business-oriented person that is not for the common man. We could easily slide into a Walmart, Weed Mart for Walmart, for instance. We don't want that at all.
Well, this is a prime example of what you call special interest money interfering with the will of the people.
Oh, absolutely. I'm thinking, and it's coming from outside of Michigan. It's probably coming in from outside the country. So what we have to do, what we will do, is go wherever we can to get funding to fight this, because this is the will of the people. I mean, we're talking about creating jobs and economics here. So, I mean,
Richard, one more time with the website, because we're coming up on break here. Give us the website really quick.
cityhallrecall.com. cityhallrecall.com. I do take donations through it, and the forms are all ready to print. There's printing instructions.
Richard,
okay.
Thank you for coming on the show today. We'll get on and recall Bill Schuette, okay?
Bring the weed, baby.
There we go. More to come up on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Don't go away.
Steve and Denise will be right back on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski and Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Grow, 800-957-1069. If you are a carded Michigan medical marijuana patient with a need for safe access but have reservations about privacy and discretion, there is an answer. It's the Ant Farm. The Ant Farm is Metro Detroit's trusted professional mobile transfer service. Write this toll-free number down, 888-369-3320. Lab-tested, mold and pesticide-free. It's the Ant Farm's convenience you'll try, but quality standards, privacy, and friendly professionals that will bring you back. The Ant Farm comes to you. Call for discreet details right away. 888-369-3320. 3320.
Hey, Steve Greene here for the medical marijuana certifications at AMMP. They're the American Medical Marijuana Professionals. You'll find them just north of Utica Road on Gratiot in Roseville. Their address is 28349. Now, call-ins are welcome, but you're better off calling for an appointment. They have a toll-free number, 877-RX-420-99. That's 877-RX-420-99 for American Medical Marijuana Professionals. That's AMMP on Gratiot in Roseville.
The patient's place for medical marijuana and safe access is Third Coast. Beautiful downtown Ypsilanti is where you can get safe, affordable access to education and materials concerning your specific needs, and quality products designed to meet your exacting needs. It's the Third Coast, 19 North Hamilton in Ypsilanti. Convenient hours, friendly, professional, compassionate. Call Third Coast today, 734-487-5402. That's the Third Coast Compassion Center in downtown Ypsilanti, 734-487-5402.
The Greene Collective.
Hey, medical marijuana patients, it's time to discover what all the buzz is about in Ann Arbor.
The Greene Collective.
The Green Bee Collective is busy making sure your patient needs are met with high-quality, locally grown meds.
The Greene Collective.
Get to know the information, the research, the benefit available to your condition.
The Greene Collective.
Weekly specials in just minutes from downtown Ann Arbor and I-94.
The Greene Collective.
The details are sweet at mmmgreenbee.com. Call 734-929-2553 now.
It's the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Time to decorate the tree. Hang up the mistletoe. Give gifts. Keep that chimney clean.
Welcome back to the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Was my mic up during the break? I hope not. I don't know. I couldn't tell. I've got strange headphones on today, so you have to bear with me. Fa la 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 la. I love this whole. It's kind of Snoop Doggish, isn't it? Well, happy holidays to you. The Medical Marijuana Radio Show's on every Monday through Friday, sometime in the afternoon. It's usually on 2 to 3, somewhere in there. That's what we've been doing. It's been kind of having to roll with the punches because, boy, we've been getting punched for sure. Some of the punches today coming down line. There was a big hearing over there in what is that? Chesterfield Township. The Big Daddy's hearing actually went down, even though there was a decision handed down by the judge. He agreed to hear them anyways. So they had oral arguments based on some written documents that they had submitted based on the judge's request. Strangely enough, the judge issued his decision before he got that chance to look at the documents he asked to be submitted and the hearing to be held. So we'll get with Jamie Lowell, who attended that hearing. Rick Thompson was there. Rick was on the show yesterday. We'll talk with Jamie in just a bit. Jamie also, incidentally, helping out with the Planet Green Tree show tonight. We'll get an update on what's coming up on that show later on this evening. Hopefully, also we'll hear from Smokie Kush. He should be calling in shortly. Right now, I've got Richard from CMCC. That's the Central Michigan Compassion Club. Yes, Richard?
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Welcome to the show.
No, thank you, sir.
Richard's all about doing what we do here at the radio program, which is to spread the love of the community, trying to make sure that people are connected together and that we have a single, united, homogenous voice to fight against people like Billy Bong.
The biggest problem is we need a ground foundation of a network of clubs and organizations working together for the cause. I've got people up here in rural northern Michigan. They've never seen a petition for a recall. You know, I think these attempts are admirable, and I support them, of course, 100%. But if we don't have the unity on the ground level, we're kind of out there in space.
Correct. Well, see, it's, when you don't have a lot of money, all you've got is social networking, and we've got the internet, and that's about it. I mean, that's what you got to work with. Now, that's not to say or discount those ideas. You're hearing Richard and I's voice right now due to some of this technology. And so if we can spread the word this way and in other ways, I think we can reach out. And, hey, look at it this way, Richard. Even if Richard Clement Sr., who's heading up this campaign, who was just on this program, is unsuccessful in gathering enough signatures to get the recall ballot up. Look at it this way. If Bill Schuette sees the scary number that we do collect, it's got to have some impact. It's also got to have some impact about, how legislators look at this. In my opinion.
On a state level or even a federal level, when have you seen politicians be afraid of the voice of the people?
Well, I think they are reacting.
Individuals are responding to the corporate push.
Well, you know, you're right. They do respond to money quicker than they respond to people, but they have to deal with both. And I think there's more people than money. And if enough people react when money gets in the way, things can be moved.
Well, it has to be a case of picking the battles you can win.
Correct.
Versus those you can't, you know? And taking on the big dogs in their arena is not the best approach to a battle scene.
Perhaps not, but I mean, you know, it does show a face. It has a public face. Look, Bill Schuette's been responding to this. He sent his entire newsletter that he sends out on an annual basis is dedicated to responding to Richard Clements and his weed warriors. I think it's an awesome thing that he quotes him.
No, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And as I said, I 100% support it across the board.
It's just,
but it's
you know,
also
like you
a
said,
disclosure. It's a disclosure of the lack of organization and communication that we have within the community, and the community has to unite and come together.
You're absolutely
I'm not
right.
a political activist. I never was. You know, never have been. I'm just, a regular Joe, middle part of Michigan that try to serve his country and do things right.
I tell you what, let me just ask you a question. Are you familiar with WUPS up in that area? It's
no.
It's 98.5 FM, 98.5, I think it is. It's an FM
I'll
station.
look it up and check it out. For sure.
Well, I don't know. They're up there in northern Michigan. We were going to be on that station at first when we first went on the air. They were going to partner with us and carry our signal up in that direction, but they got kind of scared by the politics of this and jumped off board.
This is awesome.
Pardon?
This is the kind of stuff that we need. We need this kind of public broadcasting, networking, communications network to fight this war. And it's a war.
It is a war, and it's a war on people. They call it a drug war, but I don't see the drugs suffering from this. I see people suffering from this.
Oh, let's bring it down to the thing that every single American in this state needs to realize is that it's a violation of rights of individuals. It doesn't matter about medical marijuana. I mean, you know, the Department of Justice or whatever, you know, put out that letter in 2009. They reaffirmed it back in 2011 about how you can't own a gun if you are a card holder because you are an addict or a drug abuser.
Well, you've got a Schedule I controlled substance you're talking about here.
Well, there you go. And I can't drive my car.
Right.
Because I'm a patient, and I at least smoke once a month. You know, stuff stays in your system.
Stand by for a second, Richard. We're going to bring in Rick Thompson here. Hang on. Rick Thompson, hello.
Hi, Steve Greene. How are you?
We're live on the air.
Great. We had Joe Grombine on the radio just recently, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
I just received word that Joe was unfortunately found guilty on all counts in court today.
That's very unfortunate. Rick, you're joining the conversation. We've got Richard on from the Central Michigan Compassion Club. Welcome to the show.
Oh.
So
I'm sorry to bring such
what were
a
the
down in
charges?
the middle of your... Pardon?
Charges for what?
Joe Grombine was being charged in I believe it's Indiana, isn't that right?
Actually, he's in. Joe is in. I believe Joe's in Colorado.
I'm sorry, Colorado. Correct. Right. Joe's being charged with operating a dispensary. There were when they raided his place, there was 4 counties and 17 facilities raided all at once. So that would be manufacturing, conspiracy to deliver a controlled substance, and all of those associated charges.
That's awful news, Rick.
It is. It's awful news, and it just reinforces the feds and their pursuit of distribution centers across the nation.
Now, Big Daddy's had their hearing today too. Did you guys do that stuff? Did you have that? The Macomb Township thing.
We certainly did, and the result of that was that the judge had agreed that his order was too broad in scope. It prevented acts that are allowed under the MMMA by every patient on private property, and he agreed with our attorneys that he needed to rewrite his order to be more specific about what behaviors and activities were being denied, and what activities were not.
Wow. So this is a
well,
this is a bit of a backpedaling.
Well, it is a bit of a backpedaling, although that definition may not change the ultimate order itself.
Right.
The fact that he's recognizing that the order was perhaps rushed and was not as well thought out as it should have been. Those are my interpretations, not his words.
Right.
And then that maybe he should redo it in order to gain greater clarity. That's a big step as far as I'm concerned. We didn't expect him to make any kind of concessions today at all.
I didn't expect it either. It's a surprise development for sure.
Certainly.
Hey, you know,
I did not want to interrupt.
Go ahead. I just to throw this idea in, and I mentioned, and we'll get back to Richard here in a second. This is the longest segment of the show, so we've got a couple of minutes to spread out here. I wanted to point you to the idea, and it was on the beginning of the show, that iPhone released, ASA released an iPhone app today.
I saw that. Isn't that an idea? Who might have already been hatched by several different chickens, huh?
I don't know. It seems like it might have been. It could have been. I'm glad that they beat me to the punch on it. You know, they're a bigger group, and they worked with iWeeds to get the thing done. I think it was pretty cool. So I didn't want to divert too much from that, but I wanted to bring some attention to that idea, because everybody that has an iPhone or an iPad or an iProduct should go get it from Apple. And then the Android version is coming out in April of 2011. So that's pretty cool.
And of course, it just underscores the importance of the social media and the networking capabilities that we have now for our movement to utilize technology that perhaps is just now emerging, and it's so crucial that maybe the other side doesn't have it yet.
That's very, very cool information. I'm looking forward to getting some stuff up for January. I noticed some events starting to transpire. I'm getting some stuff here and there. I'm starting to try and compile some stuff for the calendar for January events. So I'm looking forward to get some of those up for people to look forward to in the coming year.
And everyone should look at that RadioWeedShow.com calendar. It's interactive. It's a pop-up. It's very cool, and it's pretty comprehensive. And
you guys are going to be on, I imagine you're probably really busy right now, Rick. You guys are going to be on the Planet Green Trees show tonight, yes?
Planet Green Trees show is definitely going on tonight. We'll have most of the regular characters there. Jamie Lowell will be in, I believe. Also, Peanut Butter and Red Dog will be there, too. I myself will be joining the show. I might be slightly tardy because I'm coming from the Flint area tonight, and the broadcast schedule makes it a bit of a tight travel time. But I'll definitely be in presence there as well.
Now, how can people find the Planet Green Trees show? Because that show's live tonight. Immediately following this program, you'll hear Smokie Kuss's show from last night, the Hidden Stash show. But live tonight, you can go listen to the Planet Green Trees show. We'll have that on the piggybacked on tomorrow's show. But where can they listen live tonight?
You can always do a Google search for Planet Green Trees, Planet Green Trees Radio, or you can just go www.planetgreentrees.com, and it'll come up for you there. And then you can follow the link to the radio broadcast.
And then you can call and participate just like you can this show.
Exactly right, Steve.
Awesome. Rick Thompson, thanks so much for calling up and giving us an update. I think that's awesome information. You've got your heart, your finger on the pulse of the heart of the community, and it's nice to get an update when it comes.
Well, thanks for taking my call, even though you guys are on the air. And Richard, I certainly didn't mean to detract from your time. I hope you guys have a great segment.
Oh, thank you so much, Richard, for giving us a pause with Rick. We got a lot of Ricks on today.
All right. Well, thanks again.
Thank you. So now, Richard, you were saying more about gluing the community together and how we can do that. What do you think are some additional ways we can do that besides this radio program? Do you think we should start another coalition? Do you think we should glue some of these existing organizations together and get them to agree on certain ideas and move forward with that? Do you think that would help?
Well, I think that's the problem is we've got, I'm kind of new to it, okay? I was out of the country for the last 4 years, and for the 25 years preceding that, out of the state of Michigan. So I didn't have any idea what was going on. Came back with my pathology, decided to check the, medicinal cannabis out as a, relief, and now I'm involved.
Now you're neck deep in it, aren't you?
I'm sorry?
Now you're neck deep in it like the rest of us, huh? Well, with the medical community,
Well, there was a close friend that we're helping out that he's a Vietnam vet from way back, a couple of Bronze Stars, stuff like this, and dying from pancreatic cancer. And,
that's an awful disease.
Knew it couldn't save him, but once the dispensaries closed down, once Schuette shut that thing down, we didn't have access to Simpson oil for them. And
see, that's just such a shame. I hate to hear stories like that. Look, I'm a patriot.
Not that it was going to save him. Not that it was going to save him.
No, but look, we owed him the gratitude of we owed him the gratitude.
Like a Middle Michigan dairy farmer.
We owe him the gratitude of relief. He's put his life on the line for our country, for crying out loud. Give him some relief for his illness. Oh, it just makes me so mad.
Out. That's what I'm talking about. And we received his the caregiver card 24 hours after his death.
Oh, see, that's just awful. It just
pissed me off. So now I am a political activist, and now I will be a force, and I will take on these sons of bitches and fight this war.
It's got to be done.
We're going to do it right. We're going to do it intelligently. We're going to build a base of community activism. County by county, whatever it takes,
That's it. You start from the foundation up. You work from the ground up.
You got it. And, clubs are out there. Groups of people are out there. We got to network. We got to communicate, and we got to get organized. And this is what I thought the Michigan Medical Marijuana Association was all about. And, I mean, God, I was busting my butt to get in contact with those guys about how do I set up this club, what do I do, since September. And
we should put you in touch with Rick, because Rick works with MAC, the MAC group. That's the Michigan Association of Compassion Clubs. Perhaps he can help to point you in a direction that would give you some better information, some more resources to work with.
Definitely a guy I got to get in touch with.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to talk to him.
I'll pass his information on to you. I've got both of your contacts in the iPhone. I'll share contacts with both. He went that way.
Hey,
both
but
ways.
You want to bust a thing here and give some people some positive holiday information?
Why not, Deb? That's what we're here for sure.
All right. In Clare and Gladwin County, the Honorable Joshua M. Farrell, District Court Judge, on 2 occasions, Farrell told the defendants that if they were medical cannabis patients and had their cards, they would not be charged for having THC show up in their mandatory blood tests.
There you go. See, that's something that had to happen. I'm glad somebody...
Right, man, it's good.
Because here's the thing. You're talking about this is a probationer or somebody who's on bond?
There were individuals that were traffic stopped and tested out and, looking at a DUI kind of like charge.
Oh, okay. So we're talking about Michigan
content in blood.
We're talking about Michigan's zero tolerance policy for
absolutely.
Michigan, for people who are listening in other states, has a zero tolerance policy. Your state may have the same thing. If you have a Schedule I controlled substance in your system and they find it, you're going to get charged with a DUI if you were driving at the time that they found it.
You're done.
And in Michigan, we've had a couple of cases now. There was a case in Neil Rockhind had the first one, I think, down in Oakland County. He got the judge to rule under equal protection that it was not fair to say that one person who had Vicodin in his system and maybe was intoxicated and shouldn't be driving should be treated differently than somebody who's got marijuana in his system and maybe doesn't have. These are similar situations, and where you've got to prove. What they call, you've got to prove that you're in some way intoxicated. They have to prove that you are, your driving abilities are in somehow impacted by your level of intoxication.
Well, exactly, and there's no standard set up for THC in your blood.
Correct. With alcohol here, you've got to have, 0.08 is legally drunk?
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah,
and
I mean that's the whole issue here is like anyone who medicates, retains some of the derivatives of THC metabolism within their system for 30 to 60 days.
Well, just to straighten out the thing that the word I was looking for is impairment. They have to prove impairment with the Vicodin situation, the Vicodin example that I held up. And with medical marijuana, they don't have to. Well, marijuana period, they don't have to. Because they don't have to show that you're impaired at all. It's just all they got to do is show that it was in your system. Like you say, a metabolite. So it might be 30 days old. You're not under the influence at all. Just the fact that it was there is enough to get you for a DUI.
Well, that was an issue. That was an opinion issued by Schuette, know that there would be zero tolerance.
Listen, I've got to cut you short. We're going to break. If you can stand by through the break, Richard, we'll come right back. It's the Medical Marijuana Radio Show on RadioWeedShow.com.
Call now toll free 855-MMRS-radio. The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
The Green Bee Collective.
Hey, medical marijuana patients, it's time to discover what all the buzz is about in Ann Arbor.
The Green Bee Collective.
The Green Bee Collective is busy making sure your patient needs are met with high-quality, locally grown meds.
The Green Bee Collective.
Get to know the information, the research, the benefit available to your condition.
The Green Bee Collective.
Weekly specials in just minutes from downtown Ann Arbor and I-94.
The Green Bee Collective.
The details are sweet at mmmgreenbee.com. Call 734-929-2553 now. The patient's place for medical marijuana and safe access is Third Coast. Beautiful downtown Ypsilanti is where you can get safe, affordable access to education and materials concerning your specific needs and quality products designed to meet your exacting needs. It's the Third Coast, 19 North Hamilton in Ypsilanti. Convenient hours, friendly, professional, compassionate. Call Third Coast today, 734-487-5402. That's the Third Coast Compassion Center in downtown Ypsilanti, 734-487-5402. You know, it's the holiday season when we look back in our lives, when we're spending time with our families, where we look back and appreciate the things that have happened throughout the year, and then look forward to the things that are coming. So it's in that spirit of the holiday season that the Medical Marijuana Radio Show proudly announces the first annual Michigan Medical Marijuana Achievement Awards. This is a time where you can honor somebody who's rolled up their sleeves and done something good for the community. The Achievement Awards are a fundraiser. Go ahead, do it right now. Nominate a friend for an award at RadioWeedShow.com. Hey, Steve Greene here for the Medical Marijuana Certifications at AMMP. They're the American Medical Marijuana Professionals. You'll find them just north of Utica Road on Gratiot in Roseville. Their address is 28349. Now, call-ins are welcome, but you're better off calling for an appointment. They have a toll-free number, 877-RX-420-99. That's 877-RX-420-99 for American Medical Marijuana Professionals. That's AMMP on Gratiot in Roseville. Medical Marijuana Certification. And now you can find out everything you need to know online at getpotid.com. Or write down this toll-free number, 855-DOC-CERT. A friendly specialist will direct you to our Farmington Hills office. Medical Marijuana Certification. GetPotID.com. It's the key to getting your card. Information, resources, and in the end, if you're qualified, a medical card. Call toll-free right now, 855-DOC-CERT. That's 855-DOC-CERT. It's GetPotID.com. The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski and Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Grow, 800-957-1069.
Welcome back to the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Let me tell you, during the break, I had a near tragedy. I actually tripped over the headphone cord, and the headphone cord snapped off from the input of the soundboard. And so I had no way to listen to the programming that was currently taking place. Fortunately, I have a backup set of headphones. I was able to quickly get the plug out of the thing and plug in some backup phones. So here we go. Back on the phone with Richard from the Central Michigan Compassion Club. Welcome back to the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
Hey, thank you, Steve.
The things that happen when we're off the air, you wouldn't believe. I've got a camera. I just didn't. It wasn't on me at the time.
I wish I had seen it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It was hilarious. Actually, I thought there was somebody at the door. I went to go to the door. There was nobody there. I tripped over the headphones. They snapped out of it. What are you going to do? It's live radio. So we were talking about Bill Schuette. We were talking about some of the stuff going on, and you were quoting some judges, picking up from where we left off.
Well, I want to give people some positive stuff for the holidays, and that Berrien County Circuit Judge Amy McDonald's dismissal of those felony delivery charges against those individuals down there, I think that was awesome. We need to stand by that. It's like great news.
Well, the more decisions we get like this from courts in Michigan, and I think you're going to start to see more of these favorable decisions come out because it seems like a lot of these judges, they swing on a pendulum too. It seems like when everybody's ruling against, they all seem to rule against. When people are ruling for, then they seem to jump on that bandwagon. Hopefully, this will start a trend that continues.
Well, this is where it comes down to those battles that we can fight. To take on the bureaucracy or the legislative process in, the state capitol or, on the federal level, those are difficult battles to fight and win. But county by county, township by township, we can do those battles.
It should be done. It has to be done.
It's absolutely. And this is where the clubs and groups have to come together, I'm throwing my ass out there, just to try to inspire people to step forward and be out front.
How has this stuff recently in the courts impacted you guys? What area are you guys specifically in? I mean, what general area do you guys serve at the Central Michigan Compassion Club?
Exactly, Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant, okay. So up in Mount Pleasant there, how has this impacted you directly?
Well, we're one of those counties, we're next to Midland County. Midland County is Schuette's county.
Right.
And we've got Larry Burdick, who's the prosecuting attorney up here, certainly a crony of Schuette's, and we're under duress.
Well, it's unfortunate. Down here in Oakland County, which is where the heart of this program comes from, we're live in Detroit, but the studios are here in Oakland County. Sheriff out here has been big. Now he's kind of you haven't heard a lot from him recently. He's kind of gone back. He's kind of curled up a little bit. He's retracted to some degree, and I'm happy for that. I don't know how long that's going to stay. I think they got their test cases in, and they're kind of resting back to see what else happens, see where this goes. I think also looking forward, Richard, if you look at what's coming up legislatively, this was originally targeted by legislators that it's clearly controlled by Republicans at this point. They were going to attack this. They were like, look, our single united goal is to clarify this before the session ends, before the end of the year. It doesn't look like that's going to happen now, and the bills that are up there don't even look like they're viable. They can't agree on them as Republicans. So I think there's an open window here for us to, again, engage our legislators. I'm never going to discourage people from, even though the process is corrupt, part of it still works. And I think the part that still works, we should still engage and still try and swing in our favor. And
it absolutely does. It absolutely does. I sent 110 emails out to representatives in the state of Michigan. I've got some personal responses back. Most of them are kind of the automated thing.
Right.
They want to be, they want to be communicated with by their constituents.
Right.
And this is where, if we're on a grassroots level, if we are going county by county, if we're forming organizations within, each district, each county, we can have those people send that message.
It's important. Look,
We need people to stand up.
I did it with my own reps. I did it with Representative Crawford. Hugh Crawford is my state legislator. He's my representative. And then also Mike Kowal is the state senator for my area. Went to both of their offices and explained myself to them. And said, look, this is an important thing to me. I'm your constituent. Will you hear me out? Now, I haven't heard from Mr. Kowal's office hasn't been quite as receptive to me, but Representative Crawford's office has. And there's been some inward movement there. We've submitted some of this ASA language for state legislation. Maybe they'll incorporate some of this into some of the ideals that they'll put forward coming in the spring. I think you will see some stuff come up in the spring. I think you'll see some stuff come up in the spring that we've suggested.
This is about yanking the rug out from underneath them. It's taking it county by county. County prosecutors are elected officials.
Yeah.
We can do this county by county. We can put the pressure on. We just have to have a few people stand up. When you look at county populations or district populations, and the per capita of the individuals that vote and call the shots, it doesn't take a great number to make that change.
Well, here's a good angle to go on it. If you look at how the Tea Party took over the Republican Party, because they kind of did. I mean, they kind of forced their way in, and there was a successful strategy to this. And you're talking about the same kind of groundswell here that they applied there. And if you want to draw a congruency, I would suggest that you look here. what they did was they started looking at precinct delegates, and they started, vying for those positions and getting elected as precinct delegate. And then you get to say who goes on the ballot. And then they start putting people on the ballot that are favorable to their cause, and that's how they interrupted the Republican Party. The Republican Party had no choice but to accept these people as fringe as they were, but they knew how to organize.
And they've brought it to a standstill with a extreme conservative right viewpoint.
That's correct.
I don't want to bring any of this down to partisan politics.
This isn't about that. I'm just we're talking about how.
No. I know where you're coming from, but the point is, I think there's good guys and bad guys on both sides. Unfortunately, the money rules. If that guy wants his job again, if that representative or senator wants his job again, he's got to go with the money. The money is where the party lines lie.
For sure. That money is where it's all at, and I keep reminding people, don't take your eye off the money pie. Follow the money, because it is telling the story. It will be the teller of the truth. The money is always where the truth is at. And it comes down to policing for profit, and it comes down to alliances to keep people from making money in a turf that they've carved out for themselves, in big chemical, in big pharmaceutical. It's special interest money interrupting this. That's all it is.
Hell, let's just jump out there on privatized prison systems.
But that's all part of it. Again, it's special interest money.
Yeah, check it out.
Well,
people are making big bucks off this.
If you look at our state, I remind people of this frequently too. In this state, we spend annually, yearly, $7 billion. That's billion with a B, on the State Department of Corrections. And if you look at the people who are there, the vast majority of them are nonviolent drug criminals. The vast majority. I'm not saying if the guy was shooting at police that you shouldn't keep him behind bars. I'm saying that the vast majority of those people are nonviolent offenders. And if you're willing to spend $36,000 a year as a Republican to keep that person behind bars, I'd say you're misaligned with the politics of the situation.
Absolutely, and it's not economical, and it doesn't work out.
Well, and it's also, look at this statistic. We in this country have 5% of the world's population, yet we also harbor 30% of the world's prison population. That's just astronomically out of proportion with the norm of what it should be.
Well, it's when you throw your routine offender, out here with that horrible Schedule I drug, marijuana, in jail for 20 years,
Well, and then you put things in place to keep the rescheduling of marijuana from ever happening. Every time anybody has ever suggested it, it's always been, what are you talking? No, that goes on the bottom of the stack. It stays there. Remember, we agreed about this. That's the way it's been. ACE has said for 9 years in a row, look, we've got a petition up to reschedule. And the FDA said, no. And they kept dragging their feet, and they finally forced them to make a decision by taking them to court. Oh, look, we've asked for 9 years. Where's the decision? Okay, no. That's what they did. So, there needs to be more political pressure. Barney Frank is retiring this year. He put forth some legislation that's designed
that's unfortunate.
To reschedule marijuana as, I believe, a Schedule III. And, he's taken some heat for it. I saw him recently in some of these national debates that are taking place about, the Republican nomination. And Barney Frank has taken some heat. He said, look, you guys all don't want to talk about this, but it needs to be talked about. It needs to be rescheduled. You got to pay attention to it. And he's been fighting the right fight. Thank goodness somebody's going to, it's too bad that when it comes down to where they're lame duck. Well, I'm going to retire anyways. Now I can do this.
Well, I think actually in the state of Michigan, the entire strategy, from a shooting perspective, is going to be coming down to the lame duck session.
Well, sure, for sure.
We may be able to make a electoral impact, but that period of time between the November elections and January, when the new guard takes over, in this brief election anyway, is going to be when those funky bills are pushed through.
Well, and hopefully, something will take place. All we can do is keep our fingers crossed and keep our, pedal to the metal.
Well, it comes back again, to all your listeners, I want to say, if you're affiliated with the club, if you're affiliated with a group, give us an email message, at centralmicc@yahoo.com. Let me know you're willing to talk. Let me know you're willing to interact. Let's build this consortium, and let's start a dialogue.
One more time. Give them your email address one more time.
Central MICC, all one word, at yahoo.com.
CentralMICC@yahoo.com.
Correct.
Easy enough. I will pass that information on to our newsletter getters. Do we have newsletter getters? I don't know. I'll post it. I'll post it on the website so people can get a hold of you. Look, Richard, we're going back to break. This is the shortest segment we have coming up. Hopefully we'll talk to you very soon, sir.
All right. You take care.
Happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas.
All right.
All right. Hopefully Bill Schuette won't interrupt our holiday greetings. More to come up on the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. Goodbye.
I'm not afraid.
Nope.
The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
The law offices of Targowski and Grow remind you to stand up for your rights. Always treat law enforcement with respect, but if you're detained or arrested, stand up for your rights by repeating, I respectfully invoke all of my legal and constitutional rights. I do not consent to any search or seizure. I want to remain silent, and I want to talk to my attorneys, John Targowski and Daniel Grow. Targowski and Grow have the education and experience you need to be successful in Michigan courts. Call Targowski and Grow toll-free, 800-957-1069. The law offices of Targowski and Grow, 800-957-1069. If you are a carded Michigan medical marijuana patient with a need for safe access but have reservations about privacy and discretion, there is an answer. It's the Ant Farm. The Ant Farm is Metro Detroit's trusted professional mobile transfer service. Write this toll-free number down, 888-369-3320. Lab-tested, mold and pesticide-free. It's the Ant Farm's convenience you'll try, but quality standards, privacy, and friendly professionals that will bring you back. The Ant Farm comes to you. Call for discreet details right away. 888-369-3320. Medical marijuana certification. And now you can find out everything you need to know online at getpotid.com. Or write down this toll-free number, 855-DOC-CERT. A friendly specialist will direct you to our Farmington Hills office. Medical marijuana certification. GetPotID.com. It's the key to getting your card. Information, resources, and in the end, if you're qualified, a medical card. Call toll-free right now, 855-DOC-CERT. That's 855-DOC-CERT. It's GetPotID.com. The patient's place for medical marijuana and safe access is Third Coast. Beautiful downtown Ypsilanti is where you can get safe, affordable access to education and materials concerning your specific needs, and quality products designed to meet your exacting needs. It's the Third Coast, 19 North Hamilton in Ypsilanti. Convenient hours, friendly, professional, compassionate. Call Third Coast today, 734-487-5402. That's the Third Coast Compassion Center in downtown Ypsilanti, 734-487-5402. Hey, Steve Greene here for the Medical Marijuana Certifications at AMMP. They're the American Medical Marijuana Professionals. You'll find them just north of Utica Road on Gratiot in Roseville. Their address is 28349. Now, call-ins are welcome, but you're better off calling for an appointment. They have a toll-free number, 877-RX-420-99. That's 877-RX-420-99 for American Medical Marijuana Professionals. That's AMMP on Gratiot in Roseville.
The Green Bee Collective.
Hey, medical marijuana patients, it's time to discover what all the buzz is about in Ann Arbor.
The Green Bee Collective.
The Green Bee Collective is busy making sure your patient needs are met with high-quality, locally grown meds.
The Green Bee Collective.
Get to know the information, the research, the benefit available to your condition.
The Green Bee Collective.
Weekly specials in just minutes from downtown Ann Arbor and I-94.
The Green Bee Collective.
The details are sweet at MMMGreenBee.com. Call 734-929-2553 now.
It's the Medical Marijuana Radio Show.
I am not a crackpot.
Bill Schuette, you're clearly a crackpot, Bill Schuette. What are you talking about? You're not a crackpot. I mean, you say you're a conservative Republican, but, if you're a conservative Republican, how do you justify spending $36,000 a year on nonviolent drug criminals? How do you justify, imprisoning Michigan's population, the elderly, the sick, the diseased? I mean, really, what can you do with that? It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I really don't get it. Do you?
I mean, come on, folks. Does this sound like a conservative Republican to you or a crackpot?
I'm just voting crackpot myself. It's the Medical Marijuana Radio Show. This is the Bill Schuette Update. This is from MMRS News. Schuette won't take himself off pot duty, is what it says. Attorney General Bill Schuette today wouldn't rule out the possibility that he's got more work to do on the medical marijuana law, saying that the law had to become a front for marijuana legalization. It says here in the newspaper article, it's been hijacked and veered and pirated in a different direction, and it's become a certain group wants to legalize marijuana, said Schuette. And from my standpoint, let's be honest about it. We should not have a nod and a wink justice system here. We should not have to turn the other way. Sources tell MMRS that the topic of outright legalization will be a discussion starting in January when one group in the state plans to kick off a petition drive. Look for that coming in January. It's going to be in the calendar. Schuette said that if legalization were being discussed, he'd be against it. But for now, he's stuck enforcing a law he's convinced was put together to be vague on purpose to advance a different agenda. You see what he's doing? He wants to say that the people were duped. The people weren't duped. Clearly, you've been duped, Mr. Schuette. So here's what else it says. It says, have an honest debate about it instead of putting together a patchwork law so that is so full of holes it makes a mockery out of Swiss cheese, he said. Now, Rick Thompson, the editor of the Michigan Medical Marijuana Magazine, said that this attitude on Schutte's part has won the legalization movement some momentum from the medical marijuana community, which is larger. I do see a lot of medical marijuana people supporting legalization, but not for the reason that you might imagine, said Thompson. Bill Schutte's actions against medical marijuana patients mean that they look at legalization as the only way their law would survive. Schuette said that his actions should have been necessary because the law wasn't enacted as it was portrayed. I think people voted, I'm quoting, I think people voted to help those who had chronic illness or to assist those in end-of-life pain management. You're such a crackpot, Bill. But they didn't vote to legalize drugs. They didn't vote to legalize across-the-board marijuana, and they didn't vote to have dispensaries or pot shops near schools and churches, said Schuette. It's more the smoke and mirrors. This is not about the offensive church. It's not about the offensive children. Look, the CVSs are right across the street selling Vicodins who are people who are swallowing them by the dozens and getting behind the wheel of their car and driving away. Don't tell me that. Justin, I'll have to tuck your call later. So let me just finish this idea because I don't want to lose this. Thompson said later he'd support some limitations such as banning felons convicted for violent crimes, but that a broad refusal of felons as caregivers would be irresponsible. That's something else that Bill Schutte's work on. It says next on his list of issues to address are whether or not felons should be able to be caregivers. He said that he knows his pharmacist isn't a felon and that pot patients should have that same kind of assurance. How do you know your pharmacist isn't a felon, Mr. Schuette? How do you know that? Did you look him up? Because I think there might be some felons that are pharmacists. I'm just guessing. I think that's a straw man and a red herring, too. More smoke and mirrors from the Schuette camp. You're full of BS, Mr. Bill Schuette. Billy Bong, you better get your head on straight because we're coming for you. We're coming for you in great numbers. And we'll be talking to the legislators that have control over this issue. And it won't be you. Are you so high that you can't figure out you are not a judge anymore? I hear you're quoting yourself regularly as you are there to define the law. You are not. You are not there to tell people what the law means. You are there to back the people's law. And don't you forget that, sir. Maybe your little short-term, opinions help people to understand what the law means. But you're not put in place to dismantle a law. You're not put in place to pick it apart. You're not put in place to give it death by 1,000 cuts via surgical execution inside of a courtroom, Bill Schuette. And let us not forget, Billy Bong, that you're a smoker of pot yourself, you admitted. In high school and college on your way to the Attorney General's office, apparently you made it known that marijuana is the gateway drug to the Attorney General's position, because that's what you are, sir. I will not let people forget this. So that's what it is. Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Schuette. Merry Christmas to you in your camp. I hope that you do well, but not if you are dismantling the people's will under any shape, circumstance, or form. And that's my Christmas message to you. That's my response to your message to everybody worried about the weed warriors. The weed warriors are many, and the weed warriors will be victorious in this. Don't forget the Weed Wars show is on Thursday. Check it out. There's some new stuff coming up. It's an interesting program. It puts the right face on things, And I hope you get the chance to check it out. It's on the Discovery Channel, Weed Wars. Look it up. It originally was my concept, incidentally. I pitched this formally to the Discovery Channel. Not that you should watch it. It's a great show. Thanks for tuning into the Medical Marijuana Radio Show tonight. The Planet Green Trees Show live immediately following this program. The Hidden Stash Show with Smokie Kush. Stand by for that. This is the Medical Marijuana Radio Network. Join us again tomorrow right here on RadioWeedShow.com. Thanks for listening.
Medical Marijuana Radio Show and RadioWeedShow.com are trademarks. Copyright 2011.
The Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
This is the Medical Marijuana Radio Network.
All right. I'll be stoned for Christmas. You can count on me. Please have Strohs and Michelob and a place for me to be. Oh, I'll see Mom on Christmas. I'll treat her rude and crude. Yes, I'll be home for Christmas, if only for free food.
Yeah, mooch out the old cunt.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to 420 Radio. I am Smokie Kush, and tonight I am joined with
Claude the Candyman,
Carlos Mosqueda,
and Dawn.
Hell yeah, we have a full house tonight, man. We have like the green room's packed. Like, I love these shows when they're packed like this. I'm in a great mood.
It's gonna be a fun night.
Yes, it is.
The green room's packed,
when they're packed like
yeah,
that.
the bowl's not.
Bowl's not.
Oh.
Well, hold on. Let me put this computer down, and we can get on that.
Let's get on that.
We can fix that.
Pack that ball. So it's 5 days away from Christmas time, guys, and there's
Bah
no
humbug.
snow. There's no snow.
What is
It's
up
snowing
with
now,
that?
I heard.
It's not snowing here.
Oh.
Not here. There's no snow.
No,
There
lake
looks like there's some
effect,
snow up
no
north. You
nothing.
see Candy and Bill's
There,
pictures?
it was
going to.
all around us.
Yeah.
They had Winter Wonderland up there. I
I
was like,
swear
watch out for
that-
acid, Yeti.
Grand Rapids is like a protective barrier from snow. Like, everybody gets dumped on, except, like,
Well, don't it
you
know-
can look at the map and it's just covered, and for
Grand
whatever
Rapids
reason,
is
it's not.
44 degrees.
Yeah, it's not snowing in
Yeah,
Grand
but,
Rapids.
yeah, it's been what? In
It's
the
those
40s?
buildings, man.
Yeah.
Those tall buildings that keep the
is.
snow away.
It's been a crazy winter thus far. It's been cold sometimes, but not like the blistering winter that I'm
They
used
said,
to.
and that they said it was going to be the coldest winter in 200 years.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't speak too soon.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm expecting.
Oh,
It's
last
gonna
winter,
snow until
there was
April.
I was out in Lansing, and I swear we were gonna go through frostbite. It was ridiculous. It was. It was like, I swear my foot was black for a little bit. It was nuts. It was
always black.
Cold. Yeah, right.
I got two black foots. What?
Well, I guess you're in better or worse shape than I am, depending on how you look at it. Which way are you trying to go with this? Oh, all right, here we go.
So what you guys
Is that looking better?
been up to this past week? Don, we'll start with you again. What have you been up to?
Let's see. Wednesday, I went out and checked out Temple House Jam.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. Friday, I went up to Jimmy's, and unfortunately, I can't remember the names of the people I went to see. And then Saturday, I went back to West Side, and Homeless Poet
Oh, yeah.
was there playing acoustic. Oh my God.
Did you get to see Charlie?
Yeah, I saw them all. Wait,
Good.
Charlie. Yeah.
Beard?
Yes.
Beard, yeah,
Yes.
I like him a lot.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of him. When our beards unite. That's what he says to me.
You do have a huge beard.
Give me a beard hug. I'm like,
You know
I
what?
love
A lot of the guys that hang out at West Side have beards.
Have beards.
It's- I don't understand.
It's
What-
Michigan.
what's
It's
your-
chilly. It's Michigan.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's a lot of girls I know wear bras. It's like, you know, I mean,
Until summertime.
right? Hey, like guys get beards in the winter and girls use bras in the summer. What up? I'll go with that. I'll move there.
Oh, Lord.
Purely
Seems
Michigan.
logical to me.
You're crazy. You're crazy.
Sorry.
So what else did you do, Dawn? What else have you been up to?
I got some pretty good news today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
did.
let's let our listeners know about that.
My lawyer called me. I did have to take, 7 months off the time I filed because they were going to go back to January 1st of 2008. But because I agreed to go to August 12th, 2009, the judge granted me my disability today.
Hell yeah. Congratulations.
And he's retiring next Friday as his last day, so I'm pretty sure the paperwork's going to go through fairly quick.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Excellent.
It took a huge weight off Dawn's shoulders.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Carlos, what you been up to, my buddy?
Running around and did almost the same thing that Dawn did. All right, hanging out at the west side with them boys for a little bit, and then Friday was just a very unusual Friday. Just got some stuff done over at Mama's house and helping her winterize. And then Saturday went to a wedding. Congratulations to Mary and Austin. That was one of that was the best wedding. I don't know if I say that about all weddings, but that was the best wedding I've been to. Like the emotional roller coaster of it all. It's just so emotional. It was great though, and it was, I had a great time. I went to see Almost Poet Murder up at West Side and smoked a lot of bud. I love my caregiver.
Love my caregiver as well.
Smoked a lot of bud. Got a array of outdoor and indoor and indo and kush and. Yeah, it's outdoor, indo. It all goes up in smoke. So
yes,
doing good, man. Cannot complain.
Good deal, man. DC, what about you, man? What you been up to? Besides helping people live a normal life with them SweetStone Candies.
Recovering from the death, man. I was sick all last week. It sucked.
Yeah.
We're glad to have you back.
Yeah. Covered quick,
Glad
thanks
you're
to
doing well.
the Simpson oil and SweetStone Candies.
Yes, I praise that Simpson oil, man.
Over medicated myself all week long.
And it brought you back to life.
It did. Revived me. I swear I was on my deathbed, like I was sore. I was getting headaches. I never get headaches, but candies helped. Simpson oil really helped.
Nice. It's good to have you back.
Yeah.
It's good to have you here. In studio because it's almost Christmas time, and I know you're Santa Claus. So
Santa Claus.
You got what? 6 more days?
Oh no, 5.
5 more
not even. Yeah, it's almost down to 4. Yeah, it's getting close. It's down to the wire. Get out there and do your shopping if you haven't done it.
Online.
Mine's
Speedy delivery.
Mine's almost done. Smokey's almost done. So yeah. So it's cool, man. You guys all had a great week.
What about you? What about you?
I had a good week.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was all right.
That's what's up.
I didn't do much. I went to my daughter's little Christmas party at her school, which was cute because got to see all the little kids running around being all happy because it's almost Christmas time, and they're getting free stuff, and they're getting free books, and they're getting this, and they're getting that, so they're all overly stoked, especially to be around each other. Kids are just cool like that anyway.
Did Santa visit there?
Yeah, Santa was there.
Santa visited Sophie's school too.
Yeah. It's crazy how that guy can be everywhere.
I know.
On the same days, because I heard he was. I heard he was in the mall that same day too. So.
Nice showing up at fast food restaurants.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I think I saw him at Culver's.
What?
He's everywhere. It's a Christmas miracle.
How come we don't ever see Hanukkah Harry up?
That's how he stays so fat.
Hanukkah Harry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if he's all over the place, him or his reindeer should be a much better physical.
Yeah.
Reindeer
right?
Yeah, I would think. Hindu who?
The reindeer are.
Hindu Harry.
Hindu Harry.
Didn't you say Hanukkah?
Yeah, Hanukkah Harry as well.
Hanukkah
They're
Harry,
cousins.
and they are. They're biological, not fraternal.
We're not in the frat together or something. What?
I don't know.
I don't read books, man. I just watch TV.
I watched the movies. So I heard Harry Potter was a book, but I saw the movie. All right, so, man, we have a really, really kick-ass show tonight. Not even going to lie. All right, we have Anita Blunt, who is
Anita Blunt.
She's a hip-hop hippie.
I love her.
I love her, too, man. Her music is right up there at the top, man. I listen to it all the time. And not even just saying that. And then we have Irvin Rosenfeld, who is a federal medical marijuana patient. Not only that... Go ahead.
Wasn't he the first federal medical marijuana patient?
Yes, he was. He is. Yeah, he's one of the pioneers of that, and he's one of 4. And we're gonna talk to him. And he's gonna kind of let us in on how it is to be a federal medical marijuana patient. 'Cause that's got to be nuts, man.
Can't touch him.
Yeah, you can't touch him. Nothing.
He's a foreign diplomat.
Pretty much. He's
Cannibal
got
Island.
Diplomatic immunity. Exactly.
Take me with you.
It's got to be nice, man. All right, so I think we're going to jump into break. We're going to go down and we're going to check out the Greene Room, and we're going to see what they got cooking, because I heard there was an apple crisp, a medicated apple crisp, and some SweetStone Candies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some butane hash
I
oil.
saw a lot
also made some Irish cream.
I saw a lot of jars down there tonight.
Yeah.
So,
are we going to do some canning?
I think we're going to can tomatoes.
My canning started 3 months ago.
Oh,
it's perfect now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so we will be right back. Stay tuned to the Hidden Stash Show right here on 420 Radio WTHC.
Have you ever had anyone tell you, why do you listen to the music that you do? Well, I have, and I bet you have too. You're rocking to this beat, so I know you do. Well, there's a lot of labels that they try to give to me. Pothead, stoner, singer, hip-hop junkie. But I am none of the above. It's hip-hop and love with a little bit of bud. You know what it does. It makes you smile for a while. Throw a blunt on a beat, let's get higher. You thought I choked? Who thought I choked? It was a joke. I'm just playing on the beat like a hip-hop head. Always stoned, always home, bumping hip-hop like, hey, hey, hey. I'm a cannabis, I'm a flower child. No, it's call me the hip-hop hippie. Knock it roots while I smoke that sticky. I love the weed shot, and I love hip-hop, so call me night and day. Hip-hop hippie, I'm a hip-hop hippie. Knock it roots while I smoke that sticky. I love the weed shot, and I love hip-hop, so call me night and day. Hip-hop hippie. Don't know how many times I heard it. Why are all your songs all about herbal? Don't you sing about anything else? Oh, don't you know about anything else but draw? Why, yes, I'm interested in a plethora of things, and weird songs are not the only types of songs I sing. But there's nothing like the first high of the day in the booth while I fly away to a world full of smiles and laughter, where the girls act cool and guys aren't bastards. So come take my hand, let's go to Candyland. Pretend that you're hip-hop Peter Pan and fly away. Let's just be some hip-hop hippie. Knocking roots while I smoke that sticky. I love the weed shot, and I love hip-hop, so call me night and day. Hip-hop hippie, I'm a hip-hop hippie. Knocking roots while I smoke that sticky. I love the weed shot, and I love hip-hop, so call me night and day. Hip-hop hippie.
Did you make banana bread?
Nope, that's my new banana bread scent candle from Great Lakes Soybean Candles.
That smells amazing. Where can I get one?
You can visit Sherry at Great Lakes Soybean Candles at 1021 Holton Road in North Muskegon, or go to the website at greatlakesoybeancandles.com.
Hey, what's that smell in the bathroom?
Ah, that's just monkey farts.
You are tuned in to 420 Radio
WTHC.
Get a nugget, break up, gut out, roll up, roll yourself some weed, drive with your knee. From time to time, I gotta roll alone. I need to medicate. I drive better when I'm stoned. Professional. Kids, don't try this at home. The real smokers know how to prep up, blunt and roll. Look for the traffic. Don't speed or pass it. Left me up. Roll it up. Light it up. My day was crazy. Just driving lazy. Left me up. Lighting up. Get up. Get break up. Gut out. Roll up. Roll yourself some weed. Drive with your knee. Get a lighter. Light up. Puff up. Choke out on your weed. Drive with your knee. It all depends on what your preference is. A flavor look back cool, but the swisher is my bitch. I like to roll. I like to roll my seed. I figured out a way to roll a blunt and roll the streets. Look for the traffic. Watch out. Don't speed or pass it. No. Left me up. Roll it up. Light it up. Watch for the police. Hope no one noticed. Left me up. Lighting up. Smoking up. Break up. Gut out. Roll up. Roll yourself some weed. Drive with your knee. Get a lighter. Light up. Puff up. Choke out on your weed. Drive with your knee.
Young surgeon, I can tell you how to twist it up. Break the swisher with my thumb, then I spill it guts. Fill it up with the bum, then I lick it up. Here go the lighter, do me the honors, Anita Blunt. Like that shit, then pass it to Greene tone. He got that beat blowing, smoking till the weed's gone. I'm a forest fire, lighting up the trees down the 405. Catch me driving with my knees. I'm fucking with that Chris, dog. Let me get an A. I'm fucking with that stress, dog. I don't discriminate. Nicky on my lap. Sticky in my rap, but when I win Anita, we need to empty out the sack. Riding through the city with the semi, always strapped. I know you got them motherfuckers. If you with me, where you at? And fuck the brake light. We smoking to the late night. Till the neighbors turn complaints, till they can't contain us.
Up, gut out, roll up, roll yourself some weed. Drive with your knee. Get a lighter, light up, puff up. Smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up. Oh, sun's peeking through my curtain. Gotta get up out of bed. It's a wake and bacon Monday. Early morning, change your head. I reach over for my blood stash. I pop open the vial. I reach into my vial. There's nothing there in my vial. I'm contemplating, was I high and smoked up on my shit? Then was I stoned and smoked it all without not knowing it? I hop up quick, I sit and think. 1 blunt, 2 blunts, or was it 3? Can't remember if I smoked it all with company. Gotta admit the memory ain't nothing what it used to be. Oh well, that's me, I need some weed. Can't hit the shop, it's too early. Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up?
tripping or something like that. The only thing I'm packing is food in a sack, cause it's mandatory that I gotta be stoned. Like Ice Cube said, once again it's on. It's a fucked up feeling when you're California fiending. If you smoke blood, you know exactly what I'm meaning. Open up your jar and you trip cause it's empty, but the night before you could've swore you had plenty. With no connects and don't know what to do, so you try to drink a 40 as a substitute, but it doesn't feel the same as that Mary Jane. Creeping up real slow, marinating my brain, and I've been at the bottom feeling just like a peasant, saving all my roaches and scraping up my resin. I smoke so much weed that I sweat THC. A day without herb, I can never let it be.
Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up? Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, and not leave enough? Oh, I was alright as ketone. Damn, it must have slipped my hand. Instead of packing like a pack rat, I was packing like a fat cat instead. Can't believe I did it once again. A fucked up habit that I got. I always do it to myself. I'm always smoking on my pot. I got no options, I could call a weedman from the streets, but it's a Monday and it's 6 a.m. before his peak. That's fucking weak. I need some weed, a long morning, THC free. I can't believe I got no marijuana for my brain. I always do this cause Anita Blunt's my fucking name. Anita go at 10 a.m. I pull up to the front, guess what? They're open. Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up? Oh, why did I smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up, and not leave enough? Smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up, smoke you up. Smoke you up, smoke you up, and not leave enough.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 420 Radio, WTXC's The Hidden Stashu. We are still joined in studio with DC, Carlos, and Dawn. I'm very happy to see your faces. How was Clark's medicated apple crisp?
That apple crisp was delicious.
Yeah?
Fantastic.
Yep.
Smells delicious.
Oh, man.
That was great.
Gotta say, Smokie is sipping on one of his Irish creams here.
Yeah?
Very delicious as well. Gotta say. Happy holidays.
Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Amigos.
Yes. So, man, we're going to talk to Anita Blunt in a second. And that
That's what's
whole
up.
last break was Anita Blunt. So, you see what I mean about her music being addictive. And, like, you just want to groove to it, man. It's
Yeah,
like that,
it's just that head, you know.
It's just like, oh, man. Like, you sit in a car and you get high. And you listen to her.
She explained exactly what it does in her song. I was like, that's true. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm smiling for a while. I'm going to smoke some buds. That's what's up. Thank you.
Exactly. All right, so you guys ready to talk to her?
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Well, let's talk to her and let's see what's going on with Anita Blunt. Hello, Anita Blunt.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, Anita? It's Smokie Kush from 420 Radio.
Hi, Smokey. How's everybody doing?
We're doing great.
Doing good.
Doing excellent.
You're joined tonight, Anita, with...
Hi, I'm Dawn.
Hey, what's up?
Hi.
I'm Carlos. And I'm Claude Candies.
Hey, I'm on my mobile, so I'm you know terrible. Yeah. How's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing good. We're doing good. You're joined with Smokie, Dawn, and Carlos, and Claude the Candyman.
Hi, everybody.
What's up? So
how you doing this evening? Well, I guess it's afternoon out there.
It's good. Just got a little THC in me, so if I'm a little slow, forgive me.
Oh, man. No worries. We got a lot of THC in us.
That's wonderful.
So I want to know, you're from California.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a hip hop artist, and you're a woman,
Yes.
and you have huge nails in your video rolling a blunt.
Yes, huge nails in my video rolling a blunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think a lot of talent there, let me tell you.
Oh man, it looked like it. I can barely roll a blunt, and I have no fingernails, so.
That's lovely. Nice.
What I want to know.
Yeah.
What I want to know is when did you first discover your talent as a singer?
I started singing when I was younger. My parents actually really pushed me into it, so I took vocal for most of my life, and then the hip hop, falling into hip hop and doing a lot of hooks for rappers and working with a lot of different MCs. That really just started about 5 years ago, and since then I've been really lucky enough to work with a lot of really great artists. So about 5 years now.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I mean that's really cool that you are like working with some amazing artists. Like, who do you work with out there?
I've worked with quite a few people from the industry as far as underground is concerned. I've worked with let me think of the names, with MC8 and with Old School AMG. I worked with Bush Cassidy on a track, and really just a lot of notables within that Los Angeles underground community.
Nice.
That's really where I've really excelled and got a lot of work with them. So.
Nice. So have you gotten to play with like any major cannabis friendly artists like KMK or Cypress Hill?
Definitely. Well, I did the Harvest Cup, actually, and I was able to perform with Los Marihuanos and the Bloodshot Bandits and Mean Greene from Swisher Street.
Nice.
So I got to know them on that tour, and hopefully with this Prohibition tour coming up, I'm going to be helping them out with that as well. So
nice.
I'll be touring with them very soon.
We play Mean Greene, we play Los Marihuanos, and we play
definitely.
Bloodshot Bandits, and we also play Anita Blunt. That's crazy. That's crazy that you just mentioned like a lot of people that we play.
Yeah. Did you hear that new song that Los Marihuanos put out?
Yes, I heard the one that they just put out a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yes. They're way too funny, way too funny. Yeah, I definitely love Pony Boy and Mean Greene. They're such activists within that community, and they make such great music. It's been such a wonderful experience to work with them.
Pony Boy we had him on the last show, and he's a character. He's a funny guy.
Definitely. He really is.
He's
really
a funny
is.
guy, man. I told him I wanted to hang out with him and smoke bud with him because he's just so funny.
Oh, that's the best thing to do with him. That's the best thing to do with him.
I think that's the best thing to do with anyone.
Oh, that's true.
Let's all get medicated. So, are you a medical marijuana patient?
Yes, I am. Since 2006.
Nice.
Yeah, since 2006. I really started using cannabis in 2005 for medical purposes, and then I got into the politics of it, and then found out, the whole, with Prop 19. I'm sorry, with Prop 215 and SB 420, I was able to learn a lot, coming into that industry, and I kind of became a patient really quickly. So,
nice.
I want to protect myself as a patient,
So, besides music, what do you do to help the marijuana movement?
Last year I helped out a lot on the Prop 19 campaign. I volunteered signing up and doing voter registration, as well as doing a lot of phone calls and things like that. I try to jump on every activist movement I can when it comes to cannabis and hemp, because it's such a big part of my life that I feel really ashamed that our country is made it so criminalized. It's just and it's just a
absolutely.
Plant. So I definitely jump on everything I can politically to help out and to help get the word out that it really is just a plant. So
yeah,
it's just a plant. It just grows in the ground. It's not man-made.
Yeah, exactly. It's a plant.
Yeah, it's not just a plant. It's an amazing plant.
Well, the miseducation to children about cannabis is just ridiculous. They're getting miseducated, so they grow up thinking that it's wrong. I mean, back when I was a kid, in the 70s, it didn't seem like such a big deal back then.
Right.
I remember, Shoot, my parents, all their friends, they were always going to 2-track parties. Please, what do you think they were doing? Really?
Right, exactly.
And now today, my kids are being taught that it's like evil, and I'm a patient, so I have to explain to my 17-year-old daughter why I'm a patient and why it's not evil.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's
as if we went backwards. Yeah, it's as if the propaganda went backwards and back into the 30s where they were, demonizing it, really. And it's like, you would think we'd be smarter of a country at this point.
Well, they know that it has healing medicinal properties. Otherwise, they wouldn't have Big Pharma jumping all over that. Big Pharma's all over that right now. And they've had it patented.
That documentary, the hamsters, taught me so much. And yes, that slander campaign from the 30s really killed us. Like I said that before. They went like DuPont for the plastics, and then the forestry. They're like, we don't want that because hemp, not just cannabis, but hemp grows at 4 times the rate as the what is it? Carnivorous forest or whatever.
Yeah.
So 4 times better. They're like, yeah, we don't want that. DuPont's like, yeah, we don't want that for our plastics. Cotton's like, no, that's
You know what's even crazier?
Forever.
Is that DuPont actually had started. Now they have those cigarettes that will go out if you don't smoke them.
Yeah.
Like they go out. That's what that is. DuPont is in there. They put a little bit of their adhesive in there to make the cigarette go out. It's crazy. They're killing us.
Wow.
Worse.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, they make a lot of money off of making us sick, so, it's their moneymaker, making us sick, so.
Exactly. There's no money on the get well. It's all about it's all about the comeback. That's how legal drug dealers work.
Oh yeah, definitely. So that government, that government of ours, that wonderful government,
that evil government.
Yeah, definitely.
Anita, so what's in store for us? What you got in the works, or what will you reveal for us that you got in the works coming up?
Right now I'm working on, I've been putting together a greatest hits album of all my favorite smoking songs, and it's called Favorite Strains, and that should be coming out, I want to say, like, towards the end of January. I should have that finished, because I was going to put a few new songs on there. And then I'm also working on an album, a little less cannabis-friendly and a little more R&B feel. I'm working with the producer from France. His name is Sylvain with VS Productions, and he's actually producing the whole album, and it's coming out to be an amazing thing. I think this is going to be the big radio friendly one, so everybody can listen to it, and not just 420 friendly people. Right. I got to reach out to everybody as well. So
yeah, we love your music. We play it quite a bit, man. I played it, and Carlos was he was quite excited about it. He was like, I like that. He's like, who is that? So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching your video today.
Which one, Stalking?
Yes. I love that one.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that one.
The long
Thank
nails,
you.
rolling a blunt.
Thank you. Yeah, it's again one of my many talents.
And we all just said, man, she just looks like somebody that would be just totally fun to chill with.
Yeah.
Well, I got to come out there one day and chill with you guys and roll something up. So one of these days when I'm out there, I'm going to hit you guys up for sure.
Oh, for sure.
All right, well, actually, on a side note, I was just wondering about, you want to come to Michigan and play some music?
Carlos is a booking agent at a local record label here called Mux Rec.
Uh-huh.
They put out a lot of shows. Carlos, tell her about it.
Well, we can talk offline, but would that be something that you? I'm sorry, actually, I shouldn't do that. What's up? Right on air. Live, like, hey, what are you doing? But yeah, I'd be interested in doing that. That sounds like fun. I have a pretty cannabis-friendly band, Ski Town Styley, that I think you guys would sound good together with. Yeah,
that would be awesome. And I had wanted to go out there for this interview, but I didn't have a coat. I'm just kidding. It's just way too damn cold out there.
We have no snow at the moment, though.
Yeah, we have no snow here, which is so weird. It's been in the
that global change.
It's been in the 40s, like the last. Out of the last 7 days, it snowed for one day. They said we were supposed to get like 30-some inches, and we got like 2. And then and then it went back up into the 40s. But the week before that, it was in the 50s. It was ridiculous.
How strange.
Michigan
it's like
is-
global climate change. I'm telling
Michigan
you.
is bipolar. It can't ever decide what it wants to do.
That crazy water.
The weather has turned bipolar on us. That's lovely. Lovely.
So how's the Cali weather out there right now?
Really nice. I mean, it should be freezing, but it's not. It's about the same, about 60. And it doesn't go over 65. Pretty nice. So, I mean, we have a little rainstorm from here to there.
Say that's shorts and t-shirts here.
That's shorts and t-shirts.
Exactly. Well, they're wearing them here. They're all wearing them here. They wear them year-round here. That's California.
Nice. Yeah, I would definitely be wearing shorts if I was in Cali
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, definitely. And flip-flops. Don't forget your flip-flops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's horrible.
It's snowing in Texas.
Snowing in Texas.
What is going on with that?
Nice. Yeah, you guys have to come to Southern California and bring all your summer gear.
Oh,
in
for sure.
January, though. Okay, in January.
Down.
All right, I'll sleep on your couch. I claim that couch mine.
Yeah, that laugh said no.
Yeah, right.
Sleep on everybody's couch.
I'll sleep on your floor then.
There it is. It's all, there it is. Sleep for everyone. That's funny.
All right, Anita, I want to thank you for coming on the 420 Radio, the Hidden Star
Well,
Show.
I thank you guys. Yeah, I thank you guys so much for having me. This has been a great experience, definitely.
We will definitely be talking with you again, and I'll keep in touch because I want some new music as it comes out because I'd like to play it.
Definitely.
All right.
Yeah, I'll send you guys everything. I'll be sure to send you guys just everything that comes out. So
Awesome.
be on the lookout.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Anita, and you have a pleasant day.
You guys too. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Bye.
She's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I like that chick. Her music's pretty rad.
She would sound good with Ski Town Style,
I agree.
for real.
I totally agree.
I effing love Ski Town Styling.
Man, who does not love the STS? I like STS quite a bit.
I'm sure there's some haters out there.
But you know what? Haters are admirers.
Haters make us famous.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's why Breck just lets it roll. Lets it roll. We got to get them boys back in studio, too.
All right, we can do that.
So, yeah, we'll work on that. So, yeah, Anita Blunt was fun. But I think...
Hey, true story, on a random note, I want to say what's up to my friend Jesse out in Grand Rapids. Love you.
Then you should check out the new SweetStone Candy page.
Yeah.
SweetStoneCandy.com. Adam just posted the upgraded Facebook page, website.
So go to SweetStoneCandy.com.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Oh, I like it too.
I want to see it. Send
Oh,
it to
that's
me.
cool.
Looking pretty.
SweetStoneCandy.com.
Just hit me up.
Wow.
Send it to me.
I can't send it to
Not
you.
you.
What?
Who?
Yeah, you. Send it to me. All right, we're going to go break.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Yeah, we're going to go to break, and I'm going to check this out. So stay tuned, and we will be back talking to Irvin Rosenfeld. Yeah, I'm excited about this one, man. This one's going to be a good one. So stay tuned right here on 420 Radio, WTHC, The Hidden Stash Show.
Radio. Do you know if you qualify for the Michigan Medical Marijuana Program? Conditions covered under the statute are glaucoma, cancer, hepatitis C, Crohn's disease, and other ailments such as severe and chronic pain, nausea, and seizures. For more information regarding the program, or if you would like to schedule an appointment, please contact Kim at Michigan Holistic Health at area code 231-736-0128, or you can call our 855 number at 855-420-8100. We have clinics available in Battle Creek, Muskegon, and offices in Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids.
Baby, everything about you is so perfect in the moment. I am really scared of knowing my infatuation's growing. If experience has taught me anything, it is in fact that perfection is just a myth. The only place that it exists are fairy tales and dreams of bliss. I guess I'm happiest when falling, 'cause it's stalling reality. When I hit the ground, my problems, they are waiting there for me. But I am not naive, it's fate, and I won't try to fight. Baby, all I ask of you is let's not deal with this tonight. Please lie to me if that's what it takes to keep me asleep. Ignorance is bliss, and that is what I think. I'll do anything to remain in this dream, in this dream. Please lie to me if that's what it takes to keep me asleep. Ignorance is bliss, and that is what I think. I'll do anything to remain in this dream, in this dream. It's like I'm chasing a lie while you're basking in truth. Like I'm Ponstadion and you're the fountain of youth. Like this crutch that holds me up is really a noose. Sometimes I feel like Clark Kent without a telephone booth. But it's not a lie if it ain't spoken out loud. So I hold them in and I swallow it down. And shit I'd hide from my peers, I'll scream at the crowd. After all, it ain't a family if I'm never around. It's like I'm speaking of love, I never knew what it was. The Virgin Mary crying tears of blood. Happiness I can't find in a drug. It ain't right, but goddamn it if it ain't fun. It's like I'm over my head, I'm sinking just like a stone. Driving blind with no direction home. 10 long years and I still haven't grown. That shit follows me every place that I go. So please lie to me if that's what it takes to keep me asleep. Ignorance is bliss, and that is what I feel. I'll do anything to remain in this dream, in this dream. Please lie to me if that's what it takes to keep me asleep. Ignorance is bliss, and that is what I feel. I'll do anything to remain in this dream, in this dream. What it takes to keep me asleep. Ignorance is bliss, and that is what I feel. I'll do anything to remain in this dream, in this dream. Please lie to me if that's what it takes to keep me asleep. Ignorance is bliss, and that is what I feel. I'll do anything to remain in this dream, in this dream. Please lie to me if that's what it takes to keep me asleep. Ignorance is bliss, and that is what I feel. I'll do anything to remain in this dream, in this dream. Please lie to me if that's what it takes to keep me asleep. Ignorance is bliss, and that is what I feel. I'll do anything to remain in this dream, in this dream.
damages. In the past, I've had a problem with monogamy, a fancy rationalization for misogyny. Bitch, please. It's no shame in my game, I'll opt for a Brazilian. Cause waxing crack is better than dealing. For real, in my ceiling made of glass, I'm about to erupt. You call it making love, I call it busting nuts. So what? Busting nuts, all in the guts, you know we rolling with the muck screw. Bitch, say what? Master punk rollers, if the cash game, I roll up 10 blunts just to start the day. Deep down is where I'm coming from. The same on the mitten, the same on the glove, same on the pace, same getting love. Anybody talking shit, yo, I'm hovering above like a spaceship. I just rate shit. The kids bringing back the cows, I just lay shit like an egg in the hen's nest. I'm a spirit in the shape of an oval when I pass the test.
Lady on the mic here to lay it down. A certain throat artist going down a muck town. A fancy brand of hoe, always bumping to go. Wheeling and dealing so you can taste her flow. Knocking over guys on the side of the line. She's tipping on the floor while she's fucking prime. You find the queen of crabapple hanging from the rafters. Taking down names and closing up chapters.
Busting nuts, all in the guts, you know we rolling with the muck screw. Bitch, say what? Master punk rollers, if the cash game, I roll up 10 blunts just to start the day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 420 Radio, WTHC's Hidden Stash Show. I'm Smokie Kush.
I'm Dawn.
I'm Carlos Mosqueda. What's up?
I'm still joined in studio
I'm high.
with DC.
I'm really
and
high.
also, hey, we have Clark. Welcome back, Clark.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you.
Hey. Welcome in.
The oil has took my breath away.
Yes. Mine as well. So, we're getting ready to talk to Irvin Rosenfeld, who is he's a federally legal medical marijuana patient. He receives about 9 ounces a month.
Now, he's one of how many there?
He's one of 4.
One of 4.
Yeah. Yep. And it's crazy. He joined the Compassionate Investigational New Drug Program, or Compassionate IND, in like 1983. And he's the most public about being this federally licensed medical marijuana patient. So it's pretty crazy, man. I'm wanting to talk to him.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I think I've heard a couple of his stories about being pulled over and stuff.
Yeah.
Getting searched.
Hello, Irv. Hello, Irv.
Yes.
Hello, how are you doing?
Doing great. How about you?
Good, we're doing good. We're well medicated. Welcome to the Hidden Stash Show.
Thank you very much.
I'm Smokie Kush. You're also joined with...
Hi, I'm Dawn.
Hey, I'm Carlos.
Claude the Candyman.
Clark.
Pleasure. Glad to be here tonight.
So welcome to the circle.
We've been very excited about tonight.
We have. We've been looking forward to talking to you for a while, man, because you're one of 4. Am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah. That's actually...
In the country.
That's amazing.
What I like is the fact that you're a pioneer in the position that you play.
Definitely a pioneer.
Definitely was a pioneer. I've been a pioneer of what's happened in this entire country, which I'm very proud of because I feel like I've turned a bad situation, my bone disorder, and made something good come out of it, and helped others and nationwide, and that makes me feel good.
Yeah, because you're helping a lot of other people.
Most definitely. How long have you been a legal federal marijuana patient?
Over 29 years.
Wow.
Wow.
That's older than I am.
Wow.
Yeah, I've received so far approximately 123,000 medical cannabis cigarettes provided by taxpayers' money through the federal government.
Wow.
I agree with that.
That's insane. I agree with that too, but that's insane. And they send it through the mail to you.
Well, they send it by FedEx, actually.
Wow.
FedEx delivers.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. It's grown on the campus of the University of Mississippi in Oxford, Mississippi. The farm has been there since 1968, and they then take the plant and ship it to Raleigh, North Carolina, to Raleigh Research Triangle. There they take the moisture out of it, they freeze dry it, and they put it in cigarette form. They put approximately 300 cigarettes per tin can, and they seal it with wax, and they freeze it.
Wow.
And that's how I receive one tin can every 25 days from our United States federal government.
Wow.
So it's just basically like you're getting a prescription refilled every month.
Exactly. And again,
That is
I do
crazy.
and see, I do have a prescription. Okay, that's the difference.
Right.
Meaning my doctor is legally allowed to write a prescription for a Schedule I drug, whereas all the states and the District of Columbia, it's a recommendation. It's not a prescription because, it's a Schedule I drug.
Can I ask you what the disorder is that you suffer from?
Sure. The two disorders I have is multiple congenital cartilaginous exostosis and a variant of the syndrome, pseudo-hypoparathyroidism. The first disorder means that I have tumors that grow from puberty. They should stop growing when I stop growing. And if I survive, if I have all the surgeries and everything I need, if I don't hemorrhage and die from blood clot, then I should be okay. Then at age 19, I started having new tumors develop again. That's when they found the second disorder, which says I can develop new tumors at any age and existing ones can grow at any time. Now, I was 21 years old the last time any tumor grew. I am now almost 59. I have not had a tumor grow in all those years, 38 years almost. And the doctors don't know why. Well, guess what? I know why. Cannabis. That's the reason.
Yeah.
Woo! It's an amazing plant.
Yep, it is.
It's a healing plant. And it helps so many people. I'm sorry?
And we know that, and that's the sad part, because we do know that it works.
Yeah.
And the saddest thing is here the federal government's giving this medicine all these years, and they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't want to know that it works. No, it's just so sad.
It is. They want people to take those pills.
Well, that's the pharmaceutical lobby. They've got a great lobby.
Yeah.
And then you add in the hemp issue as far as with the petrochemical companies, the lumber industry, the cotton industry, and then you add the prison industry to that. And, I always say that we have 75-80% of the U.S. population that's in favor of medical cannabis. And if it became legal tomorrow, what would they gain of it monetarily? Nothing.
Absolutely.
But the 20% against us, why are they against us? Because they would lose money if it became legal, and they're the politicians. They're the people that are against us. They're the lobbyists. I mean, they're the ones who are saying, normally in this country, if you have an issue where 75 to 80% of the people are in favor of something, the politician's going to jump on board.
Yeah.
But it's lobby organizations that are paying these politicians to be against it, liquor industry and everything else. And look, even in California, when they went to legalization of cannabis, the growers voted against it.
Yeah.
So it's a tough situation, and all I care about is for patients to get the medicine they need.
Yeah.
That's been my whole premise all these years.
The medicine that they decide to use. Why not?
Right. I don't know. It should be our choice.
Yeah.
Well, it should be our educated choice. Yes.
Right.
And our doctors should be educated. Our doctors should be educated also.
Exactly. Totally
And
agree.
I'm afraid it's really not taught in medical schools yet. About medical cannabis, even the endocannabinoid system that we all have in our bodies, where we produce a substance that mimics cannabis. That's why it's so natural to the body.
Yeah, there's a receptor there.
Exactly. Well, there's millions of receptors, cannabis receptors all over the body.
All over the body.
Yeah. Yes, and so, I'm going to brag a little bit and say I'm a board member of an organization called Patients Out of Time, and our website is medicalcannabis.com. And again, we're the only organization in the United States that's sanctioned by the AMA, the American Medical Association, the ANA, the American Nurses Association, to teach doctors and nurses about medical cannabis, to where they get continuing education credit. I mean, think about that. The AMA and the ANA are sanctioning us to teach doctors and nurses about medical cannabis. And either they attend our conference, which is next April 26th through 28th in Tucson, Arizona, in conjunction with Andrew Weil, or they can go to our website, which is medicalcannabis.com, download our previous conference, and get continuing education credit to learn about medical cannabis. So for the people that say it's not cannabis, say, well, gosh, do you know, and it's not medicine, well, gosh, do you know more than the AMA or the ANA, and what's your medical credentials?
Right.
And we've gotten the VA to come out in favor of it. So, you know, it's a needed medicine. We're getting there, but, you know, it's not fast enough for me.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, definitely not fast enough.
Because here in Michigan, man, we have a huge backlash from our Attorney General, who, before the law even passed here, he deemed it, you know, he was like, he had his eyes set dead on it, to kill it, basically. And he's, you know, ever since held up to almost every remark he made before he went into it.
Yep.
Before the law, you know, when the law passed.
Well, then that's why you just got to keep trying to educate and educate and educate.
Exactly.
Because, like I always say, you know, we're at A and they're at Z, and all we want to do is meet them at M.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been the educator. I mean, you know, all these years is just to say, you know, these are knowledgeable people.
Yeah.
I mean, this Attorney General isn't dumb. He didn't get to be Attorney General because he's stupid.
No.
Okay, he's just misinformed. He's uneducated.
Yeah.
We need to educate.
Well, he's even admitted to smoking marijuana in the past.
Right. And he refuses. I mean, he's been invited to different seminars, and he refuses to go. He won't go and listen. He doesn't want anything to do with it. He just wants it gone.
You know what you need to do? You need to call his people up and say, hey, do you pay federal taxes? And of course, the guy does, and the AG does. And you go, fine, you've been paying for federal medical cannabis for 33 years.
Exactly.
29 for Irvin Rosenfeld. Okay? How about this? We fly him up to Michigan, and you have a 45-minute private meeting with Irvin. How about that? Okay? Would you be willing to do that? I mean, I've met with Elliot Spitzer when he was Attorney General before he was going to be governor in September, before he became governor in November. And, I mean, I'll be glad to meet with him and point out these situations.
Definitely.
And, you know, it's really hard. I find it difficult for a person to say, well, you know, it's not a medicine. Well, tell me, what harm is it doing? And when they talk about the harm that it does, I'll go, well, fine. If you truly believe that, explain me.
Right.
I've been getting it for 29 years documented.
Exactly.
I've been using it for 40 years. If it's so harmful, then explain me, please. You're a knowledgeable person. You're very educated. So if you truly believe that, explain then why it doesn't do that to me. And why doesn't it do that to the other 3 patients?
Yep.
Meaning we had a study done in 2001 in Missoula, Montana. Okay, the 4 of us. And we were perfectly normal because the feds don't want to study us. And that's the sad part about it. So again, put me in their face. Okay, if they're that adamant, if they're that right about what they're saying, then they should have no reason to say, well, fine, I'll be glad to meet with them. And arrange it.
Let's do it.
So there's a challenge for you.
Huh. Any listeners out there, too, that want to pick up on this challenge, please feel free. You know, let's do this. Let's get Irvin Rosenfeld to Michigan to meet with our Attorney General. Face to face.
I don't think he'd do it.
I don't think he would either.
I don't think he'd do it. There's no way.
Well, then if he doesn't want to do it, then that's what you go to the media with. What is he scared of?
Yeah.
You know, if he's so right about what he's doing and what he's saying, then why won't he meet with a federal patient? A federal patient, meaning there are 4 of us in the United States. Okay? As with my book, which I just came out with, you know, called My Medicine, which is available at mymedicinethebook.com, like I just said on my back cover, there are 4 federal patients in the United States, over 307 million people. Well, guess what? There are 4 ex-living U.S. presidents. Well, living ex-U.S. presidents, living U.S. ex-presidents. Meaning, that's the company that we're in.
Right.
Meaning, would its Attorney General meet with one of the ex-presidents? Of course he would. Well, then why don't you want to meet with one of the federal patients?
Well, he's
just as unique just as unique as an ex-living president.
He's going just above what he should. Right now, he himself personally filed a lawsuit against a dispensary in Traverse City, Michigan. And, I mean, he's getting out of hand.
Well, understand something. I don't think your law had in there about dispensaries.
No, it didn't.
Okay, so therefore he has the right legally to do that. And what he can say is now the federal government. I mean, they're coming into California and other states saying, hey, look, we're closing you down, we're going to your landlords, we're going to the banks, we're threatening you with IRS liens because you took deductions when you shouldn't have, Yep. So he could play the trump card and say, hey, all I'm trying to do is protect our state.
All right, I'm gonna one up Dawn, and here's what else Billy Bong is doing. I think he made it his personal opinion that if a police officer pulls you over and confiscates your medicine, if they give it back to you, they are going to be prosecuted as a drug dealer.
If the officer gives, or the police department gives it back to a patient.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting, and I'm sure that wouldn't hold up in court, in that respect.
Exactly.
I'm sure that wouldn't hold up.
I think the theory behind that is they should have taken it in the first place.
There it is.
I was thinking about that in the right here.
Yeah.
Again, you've got the DUID laws as far as they could say that you're inhibited because you've got marijuana in your car and you're under the influence.
Yep.
And if they do a blood test or a urine test, whatever, you're going to have metabolites in your system, and they're going to say you're impaired.
Exactly.
So they could do that. Now, that's something that's where myself, as a federal patient, I am legally allowed to operate dangerous machinery as long as I'm not intoxicated, i.e., I'm allowed to drive. And when I get pulled over, occasionally I do, because they're unmarked cars, and I smoke all the time, when I'm in a car, because I just don't have enough time in the day to smoke as much as I need. So therefore, if I get pulled over and I show them that part of my project, I go, am I intoxicated to you? They go, no. I go, exactly. That's what I'm allowed to. So the point is, just because you're carrying cannabis doesn't mean you're intoxicated. And they may try to say that you are.
And that's been battled, though, because of metabolites.
Right. Exactly.
But
it's in your system.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you're high. And the way I try to compare that to alcohol, because everybody wants to always compare, cannabis to alcohol. It's very similar, whatever. Okay, fine. Let's assume it's real similar. It's exactly the same. Okay? Tonight is Tuesday night. Okay? And I just had an alcohol drink. I had 2 of them, in fact. Okay?
Okay.
Now, a week from Saturday, I get pulled over for whatever reason, and they do a blood test on me, and it shows alcohol in my system. They're going to say, I'm drunk. And I'm going to say, wait a minute. I haven't had a drink for 11 days. But it's in your system. The same with cannabis. I mean, it's in your system, and you can say, wait a minute. I haven't smoked for 11 days. Hey, but it's in your system. So if alcohol was the same, that's what you have to make your politicians understand. That it's not the same. Because you're not drunk 11 days later.
Right.
It's in your system. It's in your system, but you're not drunk. Therefore, cannabis is in your system, but you're not high. Or you're not stoned. And that's what you've got to make politicians understand. And especially, for me, God forbid I come to Michigan and they pull me over driving, good luck.
Yeah.
I'm smoking because I'm a federal patient.
Yeah,
I'm legally allowed to do this.
Can't touch this.
Yeah. You need to try some SweetStone Candies.
What's that?
I said you need to try some SweetStone Candies, medicated hard candies.
I have, especially on the planes because I can't light up on a plane.
Right.
And, certain edibles or certain candies aren't bad, but what I find is with edibles is it's harder to titrate them. And I've gotten myself in trouble before because I might have taken an edible and where it didn't bother me before, all of a sudden it does, and I'm tired.
Right.
And I don't like that.
Yeah. Right.
So I much prefer to titrate, and actually people in Colorado, when I was out there for a book signing, gave me what is called a vape pen, and it's a pen that's kind of like the electric or a vaporizer, like the electric cigarette pen, but it has cannabis in the tip, in the area, and it's like a cartridge. And actually, I have been doing that on a plane, and it works great.
Nice.
So I haven't needed edibles.
Very nice.
That's cool.
It has been. And it's funny. Last time I flew home from from Denver, you know, I was talking to people around me, and I got like 4 or 5 rows all involved in medical cannabis. And I had my tin can open so they could see it. The stewardess saw it. Everybody saw it. You know, everybody was looking at it. Nice. And I said, wait a minute. So I pulled out the vape pen and I took a hit. And I said, and I blew it out. And I go, now, you know, I took a couple hits. And I go, now, what do y'all smell? They go, it smells like soap. I said, so you can't, it's not offensive or anything? They go, no. You know, and they had no idea, you know, and they saw me do it. Nice. So, yeah, people are acceptable. I mean, 75%, 80% of the population is in favor. You know, they're not against patients using something that helps them. Right. And that's, you know, we have to just overcome the lobby organizations and everything else, and the people who really believe it's detrimental. And they're out there. I mean, they do. You know, and it can be. I mean, there are people who are harmed by this. I mean, there are. Yeah. Okay. And I've seen it. But doesn't mean, I mean, it's kind of like obesity in this country. I mean, we have a lot of obese people in this country, okay?
Exactly.
But doesn't mean, well, let's cure obesity by closing down all the supermarkets and farms and restaurants. No, education. That's what we're going to do.
I agree.
And so the point is, there's abuse of cannabis, there's abuse of it. Well, fine, that's okay. There's abuse of Dilaudid, synthetic morphine, or Oxycontin. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't have it. What you should do is control it and educate.
Exactly. And that's why we like talking to people like you.
Right.
Because you educate us. You are like definitely a pioneer. Absolutely. Like you said earlier, that in this whole movement, you know, for everything that we hope to achieve in our lifetime. You know, I mean, we got medical marijuana in Michigan. That to me is like a huge step towards decriminalizing or legalizing.
Education
y'all
is the key.
Y'all have done a great job there. You really have. I'm very proud of you. But, you know, as far as education, I am going to say, let people know something else real quick, okay? Is that for, you know, tonight's the first night of Hanukkah, and, of course, Christmas is coming up. And one of the things I also do to try to educate people is I'm also help write for a magazine called Colorado Connect. And it's a trade magazine for Colorado, but it's a sister trade magazine for Montana Connect. And right now, we're letting people know that if anybody would like a subscription, a free subscription, which is only $25, they can actually email coconnect.me. That's coconnect.me. Give them the information as far as the phone number, as far as the address, as far as information to mail it, and it'll come under a sealed envelope so they wouldn't see it. And also the phone number is 720-326-6577. And that will connect to Heidi Hanford, who is my, she owns the magazine. It's her magazine. But it's a trade magazine for Colorado, and it's something that y'all might want to think about also for Michigan. Because what we're trying to do is we're trying to take it and make it a step higher. This will be a magazine that, again, is not have, you know, any kind of ads in there or anything like that you wouldn't show to your 10-year-old child or to your grandmother. It's going to be 60% media on the articles written by, again, people with Patients Out of Time, my organization, people that are in the industry, again, trying to promote the industry and trying to make it correct. Because, again, the feds are coming into California, all these other states, setting people down. We want to try to stop that. And it's something that, you know, people might want to, learn about also for Michigan. Because, again, one day we'll get to Michigan, but we can only do it one state at a time.
Yeah.
Hopefully that can help.
I totally agree. Because it seemed like the ripple effect, too. You know, like, it was out west, and then it trickled toward, the east.
Kind of skipped over a bunch of
Well, it did, but those states are, you know.
Well, it has, and of course, there's nothing here in the South. And there's one of the aspects that I think if your listeners, and not so much in Michigan, although it can be on the federal level, but other states that might be listening to this, is that what we've come up with in Florida, what I've come up with, and also using it for other states, especially Virginia, where I'm from, is, you know, the Veterans Administration, the Patients Out of Time, my organization got the Veterans Administration to agree that cannabis is a medicine. Yeah. And that if you're a veteran and you live in a state, such as Michigan, and you go to a veterans hospital and you're taking opiates, say you're an Afghani veteran and you had your leg shot off and you're taking opiates, and you test positive for tablets of cannabis, that's okay. They'll continue to treat you. Yeah. But if you're in a state that doesn't have a medical marijuana law, medical cannabis law, then they're going to withhold treatment. So we need to go to our politicians and say, why are you against our veterans?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Why are you against our veterans?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's something that every state can do, especially if it doesn't have a law. But again, what Michigan can do is use that in your state, but also try to use that for your federal representatives. Say, hey, we need a federal law.
Yeah.
We need to protect all of our veterans,
I agree.
not just the ones in
Me
Michigan.
too, 100%.
Exactly.
And so it's harder for a politician when you say, "Why are you against our veterans?" and you explain it. They don't want to be against veterans.
No, definitely
So
not.
make it, besides a medical issue, make it a veterans issue. Okay, I think that's very important.
Yeah. Definitely, we have a vet here tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, thank you so much. When I found that out on a Thursday, and I think I was talking to my my VA doctor down in Battle Creek, and I told him that I was a patient, and he wrote it down. And then I was scared. I was really scared. I was like, I never told him, and I've been legal for over a year now for being a patient, and then I remember being really scared, and then actually I found out the next day that it was okay, and I was so relieved, man. So thank you so much. Like, you've done a lot.
Well, I'll tell you, the Patients at a Time, my organization did that. Actually, Michael Crowitz, who lives in Virginia, did that because 5 years ago they threatened him. Okay. And he said, "I'm not going to take it." They wanted him to sign a form saying he would not use, cannabis.
Right.
And he said, "I'm not going to do that." And he was the one that educated them again with our organization. I mean, with the help of Al Byrne, who's our president, who's a commander in the Navy, and all our scientists and all our doctors, again, educating the VA to where the VA came out in favor of it. And the AMA, the ANA. So I mean, we're getting somewhere. So when you have opposition, such as this Attorney General, I mean, ask him, well, excuse me, Attorney General, where did you get your medical degree from?
Exactly.
I mean, the AMA, I mean, do you know more than the AMA? And you know more than the ANA? And you know more than the Veterans Administration? And you see, that's why I'm saying you get me in front of him, and I can explain all that. Because, again, maybe you don't understand that, Attorney General. Let me explain all this to you. Okay? And then say, look, I've been using this for 40 years, 29 under the federal government. I said, so what are your misconceptions of the drug, of the medicine, and what can I explain to you as a person who's been using it, who can legally stand up and say, hey, look, I've used it all these years. Document it. Period.
Yeah.
So have you ever used this? I mean, have you ever used this or anything? And he's, of course, going to say no, most likely. Or if he says yes, he's a little bit. I go, well, what did it do to you? You're an Attorney General.
Yeah.
I guess it didn't harm you that bad.
Exactly.
That's what either way, you get me in front of him, believe me, I will either turn him around or I will make him look really, shall we say, not being congenial, not wanting to be educated, not wanting to learn, okay, that he's very closed-minded. Okay, yeah. and that's fine if he wants to be closed-minded, as long as we know that and we can state that.
Yeah, he's definitely closed-minded on the subject because he attacked it before it was even a law. He said himself he would do everything within his right and power to stop medical marijuana from happening.
So let's give him an audience, okay? Let's let him prove how correct he is. Okay? Put a debate together. Talk to him and say, hey, put a debate together. Get the major TV stations, the newspapers, wherever you can. So let's put a debate together, and let's let him prove once and for all how right he is.
Yeah.
Let's give him a forum to prove it.
What I find is so offensive about this whole thing is after the Michigan courts determined that the dispensaries here were illegal under Schuette's directive. They did a poll on mlive.com immediately after that, and I believe it's still up and running, but last I checked, 90%. The poll asked, is Michigan patients better off without dispensaries? And 90% were saying no. So, I mean, that Michigan, proposal 1 only passed by 63%, which is a major victory. So you've got 90% of our public that's polled on that, saying they support having dispensaries for patients.
Yep. And politicians don't care. I mean, that's what gets me so upset. That's why you need, somehow these people need to say, hey, look, you don't go my way, we're voting you out. But they're not scared about that because, I don't know, cannabis people just don't speak up. I mean, granted, they're scared to speak up. But what they really need to say is just say, this is what we believe. If you don't believe our way, you're not going to win next election.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Exactly.
Right.
We vote them in, we can take them out.
That's the
Vote
point,
them out.
exactly.
Vote them out.
And that is the point. So what you need to do, I mean, like this, what this magazine I was telling you about, Colorado Connect, is we talk about the politicians that are in our favor. Okay, we talk about what they do for a living, and we say, well, these are the people we need to support.
Yeah.
We also talk about the people that are against us, politicians. And we talk about what they do for a living and go, don't use their services economically.
Exactly.
Go after these people. Do whatever you can legally. Okay? Don't just sit down. I mean, this guy, you find out what he does, find out what his family does, his cousins do, whatever, and don't support those businesses. And the politicians that are in your favor, help them. Support their businesses. That's what this, trade magazine that we're doing in Colorado is about, and hopefully one day we have in Michigan. But these are all the tools that we need to be able to use to be able to substantiate and make our industry better.
Yeah. I agree. Because
Totally,
we need to.
yeah.
We need to build this industry. We need more things like Weed Wars and
right.
420 radios and, yeah.
Well, we do, and believe me, I'm very proud about, when I started this in 1972, there wasn't any knowledge about medical cannabis. And now we have 16 states that have passed laws, District of Columbia has passed law, and, all these different, people that are interested in doing what you're doing, the radio shows and internet and other radio shows, and we have it in magazines, Discovery Channel doing specials with, Steve D'Angelo and what's going on there. So it's come a long way, and I'm very proud of all that. I'm thinking of all the millions of people that are being helped, statewide.
Yeah.
However, we haven't won yet.
Now, do you think, I want to go a little off topic, do you think Steve is really kind of putting himself out there by doing the show?
I don't know Steve. I mean, we've met, of course, we're in different publications together, but I really don't know him. And we've never sat down and talked. And so the way I look at it from an outsider, I think what he's doing is what I did.
Right.
Meaning, I believed I was right, therefore I stuck my neck out and I did it. Now, the difference was that, I had a disorder, so I didn't, I felt like I didn't have anything to lose. Now, he's sick too. Okay, he's got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think what he feels like is, this is his way of saying, hey, look, this is my problem. This is what I have, and this is what I've done, and now I've helped others. And now you're trying to tell me I can't help others?
Exactly.
No, I'm going to. So I feel like what he's done is he's done it the right way. I mean, I've been in his facility. I've done book signings there, and he's got a beautiful facility, well run. I mean, very professional, as well as any other pharmaceutical, prescription company, pharmacy. And so while I applaud what he's doing, I'm scared for him because I don't want to see him get busted.
Exactly.
And the feds, I'll tell you what's worse is, I don't know if you know the name Lynette Shaw, but she had the first dispensary in California. She had a facility that was like 12 by 12 feet. I mean, that small.
Wow.
She had a bathroom in there, and she had a little dispensary, totally nonprofit. And every year for 15 years, she's done her taxes. She's called the IRS, and she said, help me do my taxes.
Nice.
And they've done it. Now they've gone in on her, the IRS, and they've said, you now, because you have an illegal product, all your deductions are illegal, so you owe us all this money. They've sent letters to the owner of the property saying that's an illegal building, and either you get rid of her, or we're going to confiscate the building. And all the rent she's paid you over these years, we're going to ask you for that too. So now what that's meant is Lynette Shaw has had to close her little dispensary. So here was a person with a little nothing dispensary, small little nothing, nonprofit, really nonprofit, okay. And she's had to close. And so it's people like that really get me a little more. I mean, what Steve's done and his people has done, that's fantastic. but it's the real people that's really small, little nothing, organization that's helping, a few hundred people. People like WHAM, the Women's and Men's Alliance of Medical Marijuana in Santa Cruz.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a real cooperative. People work there. They man the fields. They grow. They work the building. They do whatever they can. So it's a real cooperative, and they got busted. So it's people like that I really feel for more so than Steve. But of course, I care about what Steve's doing and everything else. But it's a small little mom and pop that I really, that are trying to do the right thing, really trying to do the right thing. And not that Steve's not, because he is.
Right. Oh,
He's
yeah.
just doing it on a large scale. Okay, he's just doing it on a huge scale.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the feds want to come in and say, hey, you can't do it on a huge scale, okay.
He does
These
it
little mom and pop,
ginormous.
little nothing operations, come on, leave me alone.
Yeah, to me that's just nuts. Like myself, I would not put my neck out there like that. Running a really big dispensary where I get 95,000+ patients, in and out. I don't think I could handle that. Like I would be definitely afraid of being busted, let alone putting myself on TV. Like just documenting it. That's nuts. But I give him all the respect in the world because he's doing something that he feels is right, like you said, and I think he's doing something right.
I believe he is too. That's why I respect him also. It's just I couldn't do it either. I've never wanted to look over my shoulder.
Exactly.
And I'll tell you something. A little, part of my book. Different stories of my book. But when I became legal in '82, I got a phone call from a gentleman who gave me his name and said, "Do you remember me?" And I said, yes, I do remember you. I was in a Jewish youth organization during my teenage years called Aleph Zadok Aleph and B'nai B'rith Girls under B'nai B'rith. And this guy was advisor of a boys' chapter in Richmond, which was 100 miles from my house. And we knew he worked for the government, but we never knew what he did. And that was when we were teenagers. So then, when I became legal in Virginia, of course, I got lots of publicity. I get this phone call from this guy, and he told me his name. And I said, yeah, I remember you. He said, Irvin, I've been following what you've done, and I really want to congratulate you on what you've done. You've done it the right way. He said, but I want to warn you, always be the educator, always be the moderate. And because the government can get rid of you if they want to. And I said, well, yeah, I'm sure they could, I'm always going to be the moderate, but I guess they could get rid of my protocol. He says, no, Irvin, they can get rid of you.
That's freaky, dude. Like, that's scary.
I'm just telling you, that was '82. Okay.
Now, all right. Well, let's touch on that. Do you feel like maybe they are?
Oh, not at all.
No.
No, not at all. Again, because I'm the educator, I'm the moderate. I always have been, and I understand the other side, and so therefore, they don't want the publicity. I don't think they want to bother with me because of the publicity I would get.
Yeah, because you are the most outspoken federally medical marijuana patient, right? Like of the four of you.
Oh, of course. Well, again, I definitely am. LV's in Oregon, and she does what she can. The other two patients in Iowa, George McMahon and Barbara Douglas. Barbara has MS and she's confined to her house. George has a disorder that he's confined to his house now. He'll do interviews on the phone and the internet, but that's about it. But he can't leave, and so I'm really healthy. I'm in great shape.
Yeah.
I do everything. I'm a stockbroker. I handle a lot of money on a daily basis. Nice. On Saturdays, I teach mentally and physically challenged children and adults how to sail with adaptive sailboats. I take out paraplegics, quadriplegics, and they actually sail the boat. And I teach them.
Wow.
And so I'm able to do all this because I have the right medicine. Plus, something else is that I have that the federal government understands is the law firm Steptoe & Johnson. They were the ones in 1978 who filed a lawsuit for Robert Randall, suing the federal government on his behalf for get medical cannabis. And they filed it on Thursday. The next day, the federal government caved in and put a gag order on that lawsuit. Now, Bob died. He was the first patient. He died in 2001. One of his last wishes, he told me, was, Irvin, when I die, you need to get them to continue the fight for medical cannabis through you. It took them 6 weeks after he died. It took them 6 weeks to research me, but they're now my attorneys, pro bono. They're one of the top law firms in the world. Literally. They were started in 1880 by the Secretary of Treasury, and they are now my law firm, pro bono. So therefore, if the federal government ever did anything to me, they would file that same lawsuit again.
Got your back. Damn. Oil fucked me up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I really think that the federal government wants to just, wait for us, 4 of us to die and the program to end.
I agree.
Yeah. And until then, I'm going to spout off as much as I can. I think they should reopen the compassionate care protocols, research it that way if they want to. I mean, I've given the federal government ways out to do different research, but they just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
They do what they want. They don't care. They tell you the water's okay. It's filled with fluoride. But you're lucky enough to have it. You're pretty much untouchable, basically.
Well, as long as you say something.
Well, I am. I mean, legally in this country, under federal law, supersedes state law.
Exactly.
And we've had 2 Supreme Court cases that have been decided that says that legally the only people that can possess cannabis in this country is anyone with a federal exemption, which is what I have. So, yeah, I am.
So
and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I would too. But, I mean, it sucks at coming to, at what your disorder is. It's horrible that you have this disorder, but it's also a great gift that our government allows you to use it. I mean, big ups to them for that.
Right.
Because, I don't know, you just are one of the blessed ones, man. And definitely a pioneer in this movement. Would you recommend cannabis for everyone, or to just relieve symptoms, or just in rec use?
Well, what's been discovered is we've discovered that you have an endocannabinoid system in every human being and every animal, for that matter, that again, manufactures and mimics natural cannabis. And so, in reality, the fact that we've taken it out of our diet and our use for since 1937. Scientists are starting to realize that's why we have such more cases of autism and different disorders that we didn't have back then before. So we think the use of taking cannabis out of our bodies harmed us. So therefore, down the road, it's going to be discovered that when I say that cannabis needs to be used for medical use, that actually means everybody. So really, everyone would benefit from using medical cannabis.
I agree. Even if you use it recreationally, you're still self-medicating from a long day's work, or just to put yourself to sleep, or to make yourself hungry. You're using it medicinally.
Yes. Yeah, I think it was Dennis Perrone that made the first statement that all cannabis use is medical. And at the time I didn't understand what he was saying, but now that science has come so much further in the last 25 years, 30 years, now it's believing that the human body really needs this.
Yeah.
And so it should be utilized. But again, until medical schools start teaching this, how can we expect our opposition to understand that? We can't. So until they do, it's the same thing I try to point out with people. If you ask almost anybody on the street, have you ever heard of endorphins? They're going to say yes.
Right.
Okay? But when they first discovered that, it took 15 years or 20 years before even medical schools started even teaching it. Before the average individual even heard about it. So it's the same thing that's happening with cannabis. I mean, the medical schools aren't teaching it yet.
Right.
And until they start teaching it and teaching doctors about it, then it's hard to it's hard for doctors to understand that, and it's definitely very hard for our opposition to understand that, because they were taught by the federal government it's terrible for you, it's harmful, it does this to you, it does brain damage, it does lung damage, it keeps you from reproducing, it does this, it does that. You know how bad it is.
And all at the same time, they're giving you 9 ounces a month.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Crazy insane.
What's really crazy insane, though, is what they are saying is legal and okay to be given to you in 90 little tablets a month to everybody. That's what I don't understand. You mean
with Marinol? You mean it's Marinol or something like that?
No, I mean the chemical
Big
garbage.
Pharma.
The pills, that everything is A-okay to take this pill, but I mean the side effects of it are almost as bad as what you're taking it for, or worse. But this plant that grows naturally, that all you have to do is dry it out, burp the jars a couple times, and break it up, and then ingest it, and that's bad for you. That's wrong.
Well, You know, I always joke about, you see all these commercials for every drug. You know, they all say it can lead to this, death. It can do this, can do that. So I'm thinking, you know, I'd love to see a commercial for cannabis.
Exactly.
You know, think
Run
about
that one. Run that one.
I mean, you know, we could say, I mean, because again, it can be harmful. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you it won't. You know, when I speak on college campuses, I look at two people, and I point at the first one. I said, you know, you're a procrastinator. A month ago, you had a class, and they said you've got to turn a paper in on Monday. And it's now Sunday. A month later, it's now Sunday at noon, and you said, oh shoot, I forgot about that paper. You go and smoke a joint, and then you sit down and write the paper.
Exactly.
And the next morning you make, you know, a few changes, and you turn it in. Then I turned to the person beside him and said, now you're in the same class she was in, and you're just as bad a procrastinator. It's Sunday at noon, and you said, oh man, I forgot all about the paper. And you go smoke a joint. And after you smoke a joint, you go, oh, screw it, I don't feel like writing that paper. Okay? Cannabis is harming you in that respect.
Exactly.
Don't ever put yourself in a position where cannabis can harm you, because you're giving me a bad name.
Exactly.
So if it makes you where you're lethargic or whatever, you don't care about doing anything, then only do it when you can do that. But the person who it doesn't harm, who make them think better, you know, enhance their thought process, then God bless you. Go smoke.
Totally
Everyone's
agree.
different. Everyone's different.
Are you in touch with any of the other federal medical marijuana patients?
Of course.
Yeah?
Of course.
It's kind of like your own little tight-knit group, I'm sure.
We are.
You know? That's cool, man. That's really cool.
No, we are. We're very close, all four of us. Because we're very unique.
I agree.
How many medical patients were there originally?
13.
Wow.
And there were another 28 patients that had been approved by all three government agencies, DEA, FDA, and NIDA. But once the program was shut down by Health and Human Services, they were told, the 28 patients were told they could have Marinol only. And the 13 of us were grandfathered in. Now, of the 13, a lot of those were AIDS patients. And they didn't have the AIDS cocktails they do today. And so they died.
Wow.
And,
Well.
you know,
Bummer.
there's only 4 of us left.
So you pretty much just let them die off. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's... Wow.
Well, it's sad but true. I mean, let's put it this way. You know, it's sad that they're not bringing in more patients federally. But you know something? I hope they leave me alone to die naturally.
Oh, right.
Right. Oh.
Okay, because cannabis has made it to where, you know, I'm going to be 59 years old in February. And most people look at me and can't believe I'm over 40.
Yeah.
Okay? And I tell them, it's very simple. I have the fountain of youth. I use it every day and have for 40 years. That's why I look young. And I'm in great shape. I mean, you know, I consider myself a very healthy, disabled person.
Yeah.
And that's all because I have the right medicine.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. As a taxpayer, it infuriates me to think about how many people are sitting home on disability
Yeah.
that if they had the right medicine would be productive members of society, and it wouldn't cost me money.
So I have a question for you. Your book, My Medicine.
Yes.
What made you decide to write that book, and how can people purchase it?
The easiest way to purchase it is to get a signed copy is to go to my website, mymedicinethebook.com. That's the only way to get a signed copy. I mean, you can order on Amazon, whatever, but it's not going to be a signed copy. And you want to get a signed copy, so it's mymedicinethebook.com. And why did I write it? Very simple. The first patient, Robert Randall, wrote his memoirs as he was dying of AIDS. And if he would have died without writing it, then all the things that he accomplished and that he did that we have no idea about would have died with him. And it dawned on me 5 years ago that, and he didn't live that long to enjoy the book. So it dawned on me 5 years ago, I'm not getting any younger. And that, God forbid, something happens to me, everything that I've accomplished and that I've done, nobody's going to know about. And that's not right. You know, for people not to know the history of how we've gotten to where we are today. And so that's why I wrote the book, to where, and also people told me, you know, Irvin, you do a lot of good. But you know something, you can't do 50 interviews a day. You can't be on every television station around the country doing interviews. But your book now can speak for you. And so that's why I wrote the book, to where, God forbid, if I drop dead tomorrow, it's out there. Everything I've accomplished and that I've done, people know about now.
Man, we respect you so much for doing what you're doing and keeping on, keeping on with your keeping on. But no, we truly appreciate everything that you've done to pioneer us into this new age of marijuana and cannabis and hemp. And we hope that it just goes further, man. Like, we want legalization. We want everybody to be able to use this wonderful plant if they choose to use it. It shouldn't be somebody's opinion on if I can ingest this or not.
Well, that's true, but right now, as far as medical use, we have, the population on our side.
Exactly.
Overwhelmingly. As far as total legalization, it's still up in the air. I mean, granted, the first, finally a poll came out that said it was below 50%. But, that's not enough to get something passed.
Right.
Okay. And again, I try to use the term, if I can, medical cannabis, because that's what I get.
Yes.
Every 25 days, I get a tin can of cannabis sativa. I don't get marijuana sativa.
Right.
Okay, I get cannabis sativa. I get the medical aspect. So I really prefer, that people start trying to use the term. And granted, a lot of state laws use the word marijuana.
Yeah.
Well, marijuana is a derogatory term that was put in by, Hirsch and
You
DuPont.
mentioned that before.
To decriminalize, to demonize it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, medical cannabis is really the term that we need to use. And what I try to do, even my book, it says, how I convince the federal government to provide my marijuana and help launch a national movement. I start interviews with saying the word marijuana, but then try to say cannabis. So I try to delve into it that way.
Yep.
I had a question for you. I want to know, when you get that, I just took a look at online, like that tin can of dubs. Do they smoke pretty good? Are they loose? Are they tight? What's up? How do they burn?
Well, first of all, I could never smoke them the way they send it.
No?
Because it's been freeze-dried, and what the government does, they give you like an 8-page report telling you basically to steam them to raise the moisture level. Okay?
Right.
Doesn't work. So what I do is I take like 60 or 70 cigarettes out at a time, open them up, take the cannabis out, put it in a baggie with like 20 pieces of lettuce, and rehydrate it for like 8 hours. Then I take the lettuce out of the cannabis, and I now have rehydrated cannabis, and then I roll what I need. And if you see pictures online, you'll see that I roll really fat joints.
Use apples and oranges sometime. Try it out. It's delicious.
I've heard that, apples or oranges. But,
Yep.
my neighbor's a chef at a restaurant, so they have, the lettuce that they throw out, the parts of the lettuce, so I just use that. It's sufficient. It works.
True story.
Yeah. So.
Indulge one time. Get some apples and oranges, man. Try it. It's great.
I will. I'll try it next time. Maybe I have. Do you use orange peels or actually the orange itself?
I used the navel oranges or whatever and cut them in half and used most of the peel, but I used like a couple of the wedges.
Gotcha.
And then I enjoyed the other parts that I didn't use. That was quite
I
delicious.
might try that. I never have. I might try that. 'Cause,
Do it.
It's a healthy.
Let me know. Let me know what you think.
Healthy little
Add
snack
a little
from
flavor to
420 radio.
Add a little flavor to
I'll do
the
that.
sativa.
Because the government herb could use some flavor. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not the best. It's not the best. I mean, it's adequate. It works. And I'm thankful
Oh,
to have
wait,
it.
whoa. It's not the best?
No.
What? Oh, man. Like,
Understand something, okay? The federal government does not agree that cannabis is a medicine.
so they just...
Therefore, they don't have to grow it. They're not interested in growing good cannabis. Now, so therefore, the THC level of this is about 3.30.
Oh man, you're getting some swag. Come on.
Well, the point is that it works. Okay? And since I get no euphoria from any medicine, and again, I've tried the best, okay? I don't get high. The scientists think that my cannabinoid receptors are defective. Therefore, I'm not getting the euphoric effect.
Right.
So the point is, it might have the CBD in it that helps, and really CBD works better in some respects, especially for my condition, than THC. And CBD is non-psychoactive. So you see, patients, again, people have a misunderstanding. Some people think that the higher you get, the better medicine it is. Untrue.
Yep. Time release.
The whole point is what works best for you. And that's why dispensaries are so important. Because dispensaries are out there trying to grow different strains and trying to find out what's best for different diseases. And if they have people that come in, say, for epilepsy, and they have a strain that people come in and say, oh, this really works well for me, then that's important. That's important research that only the dispensary owners are going to do. And by stopping dispensaries, that cuts off that research, because the feds aren't doing it. So the state should, and other states are doing it. Colorado, California. I mean, there are some good dispensaries. There's some bad ones too, but there's some good dispensaries. And so what you need is regulate the dispensaries and make it to where they're above board and working the way they should for the benefit of the state and for the patient.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Irvin, I want to thank you for coming on the Hidden Stash show tonight and joining us in the circle. Thank you very much for everything that you do, sir.
I appreciate that, and thank you for the time to get my word across. And to plug my book again, mymedicinethebook.com.
Definitely. Go and buy it.
It's a great lobbying tool. It makes a great present for anybody, and go there and read the whole story, because, again, if you read the story, then you'll know how we got to where we are today.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Irv, and we will talk to you soon, because we will stay in touch with you.
Yeah, let me know how that orange peels go.
Yeah.
I will do that. I'll email you. I'll let you know.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Thank you very much, sir.
You have a Merry Christmas.
You too. Have a happy holiday, and anytime I'm available. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Wow, what an amazing dude, man.
He
He's
dropped a lot of
handling
knowledge.
business.
Yeah.
How many original patients?
The
were there?
government
There's
weed probably
13.
has like 70% CBD or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was that one, what would you call it, Cryptic Kush or something like that? It was like 1%
That's the
THC
only way
and
that it could
23%
explain
CBD.
3% THC.
Yeah, it's the CBDs. That's
Yeah.
I'm upset with myself because
And
I
they
know
just
that.
don't give they don't give you like the euphoric high, but
Exactly.
It's your body,
It's
and that's what you
body.
need. That's what a
Yeah.
patient like that would need.
yeah.
They're growing swag. That's ridiculous. Come get some of this purely Michigan.
They're keeping all the good buds themselves. Like that's the kind of strains that we need to spread around to everybody to get everybody better. Like not the high THC stuff that everybody get blazed.
Right.
You want to get high?
I feel it
smoke some
behind
oil.
my eyes. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, it's
You know,
crazy,
that's not-
man. Like
that's not what we need.
I was expecting him to be like, oh man, like they're all different names, like they're written out on the paper, you know, of the joint. Like I was hoping so bad for that, but he's still such a pioneer in this movement for us, and he helps, and he helped, and he man, can't give him enough props because he
I
just
know,
does
right?
what he does.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, thank you, him and his crew.
Thank you, him and his crew. So Carlos, what's going on with Mux Rack over there? I see some.
Well,
I see some.
Wednesday we're gonna have Tomorrow's Jam, West Side, kicking that. You know, doing that for 10 o'clock till 2. You know what it is. Bring your guitar, bring your bass, make some music.
F around.
Yeah, you want to sing? Come sing. You can play. There's some drum set there. You know,
do your thing.
There's a sandbox. You make
Guitar,
castles.
bass, all that good stuff.
Stiley. We got Stiley. Man, this is for next week actually. New Year's Eve, and then we also have a big party New Year's Eve at Westside as well.
I'm going to.
Yeah, it's gonna be legit. You have all the boys there, and Julie. She'll be there.
Thank you.
Microphone. Be like, yeah. But a whole lot better than that though. There's some babies in there. Baby.
Oh, come on, stop that.
Dude,
I hate when that happens.
It was in the studio. It was hilarious. That was fun.
Yeah, give me some news, man. Give me some news. What's
All
up
right.
in the news?
So I was surfing around today, looking at stuff that I thought was pretty cool, and this is kind of funny that if you correlate all these together, it's like, what? What are you telling me? But it says that teens in high school are using more cannabis and less tobacco. There was 47,000 students, 8th grade, 10th grade, and 12th grade studied, and the study was done actually here by the University of Michigan and the Institute for Drug Administration. Yeah, so the FDA. Yes, Federal Department of, excuse me. And, yeah. So that's pretty legit. Sounds good for cannabis, and because I don't like tobacco cigarettes. They're disgusting.
It's true.
So
he does not. He hates the.
And it said that The ingestion of cannabis are the highest since 1981. It said the last 4 years prior to this increase, decades behind that, it was a constant decline. So this is a 4-year trend for him as well. So I think that's good news.
That's very good news.
Yay!
I would much rather see a teenager smoking cannabis than
at certain ages.
Well,
yeah.
And everything's circumstantial, you know.
Right. You have
I think 8th grade is a little young.
In order. Yeah, but I mean, if they're going to experiment, I'd rather have them experiment with cannabis over tobacco.
Or any other drug.
Yeah, exactly. Alcohol.
Wow.
This is a chemical. It's so crazy.
Well, it shouldn't be criminal. You know, that's the problem.
That is a problem.
You know?
Is that it is criminal.
Also, check this out. Over in New London.
Yes.
The New London.
New London.
Not that way, though.
Is there Old London?
There's an Old Town London, much smaller, you know, like Cobblestone Road still. And then there's a New London. It's got LED lights, and there's like techno bars. It's crazy, man. But he said they should no longer issue infraction or violation to anyone who possesses marijuana as associated paraphernalia on private property. This is on Wednesday that this came out, so on December 10th. So, I mean, this is just last week. And also in June, Connecticut became the 14th state to decriminalize small amounts of marijuana. So that's pretty good. And it's an infraction of a ticket of just $150 as opposed to criminalization between $200 and $500. And if you are under 16 years old, you will lose your license for 60 days. And if you're a juvenile, you will be sent to juvenile arraignment. You will be like charged as like, but I don't know what it didn't go into detail. So that's like, it's like more people are using it, but they're using it at younger ages, and I understand that. But
yeah, but isn't that better?
I think it's because now, you know, like these high schoolers, you know, now they're learning. You know, they've been learning. When did this come? This happened in 2008.
Mm-hmm.
So for the last 3 years, these kids, you know, they know that people have their medical marijuana card. They know what's up. So they figure, hey, if it's not hurting them, then it's not going to hurt me. Instead of being in 5th grade and having the DARE people come to your school.
Exactly.
And tell you that, oh, it's this, it's that. Ugh. Screw them people.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that's the news, kids.
Oh no, that's not the news. I got some news too. I got some funny news.
And live via satellite in the chopper, we got Smokie Kush. I'm sorry.
Coming from Beaver, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I said Beaver, Pennsylvania.
Beaver, Pennsylvania.
Beaver. Let's make vagina jokes now. Beaver.
Oh man.
Beaver. All right. Anyway, a defense attorney's argument that a bag of marijuana uncovered during a Pennsylvania traffic stop could have belonged to a man other than his client has unraveled after an arresting officer recalled the suspect, asking him, "Can I have my weed back?" Yeah, he asked that. He wanted his weed back. 19-year-old Devon Jeter was one of 4 men in a car stopped by Midland police on May 13th, and he made that remark. Smart. "Can I have my weed back?" I don't know what else. Can I have my weed back? I don't know what else I can say. Can I have my weed back? That's crazy. Why would you say that to an officer? It's like selling to an undercover, to a plainclothes. Yeah, 19.
My weed, I'd say, can I have my weed back?
Well, yeah, now. But I mean, if you were 19 and it wasn't legal,
I would have given it to him the first.
Still your weed.
Yeah, that's true. That's my property.
That's my medicine.
That is my property.
I read a funny story about, I think it was in Oregon. These guys were being chased by the police, and they ended up throwing 5 pounds of weed out the window.
And they hit the
they
hit the trooper.
It said they spent like 48 hours cleaning up every single.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That's a sweet waste of money. Picking up all that weed.
Yeah, just let it go.
And they're pocketing, just putting it in.
Yeah.
You know, they're taking it.
Yeah, some of it was missing.
Hey, we couldn't find it all, Chief.
Yeah, you're gonna get some more phone calls coming from down there.
You said Chief.
I'm dead. Me and my wife are dead. I think we're dead.
Yeah.
Time's going really slow, but we're dead. Idiot. Wait, that's coming up. Some more of those coming up.
All right, well, I think we're gonna end it for the night. We had a pretty full show, so I want to thank everybody for coming tonight and hanging out on this special Christmas edition, I guess.
How many listeners are there right now?
Oh man, I'll tell you off air.
No, you gotta tell me right now because the listeners that are listening will get a free pack of SweetStone Candy.
Oh, well, let me see.
Everybody else is not such.
I think we're only gonna go to the people who are actually like logged in.
All right.
Because I don't know the other people's names.
That works.
Aereo Baby Doll, who I believe is
people that are logged in just get Smokie.
Yeah.
Hey, what's your email address?
Yeah.
What's your email address?
You can hit me up on Facebook. Hit me up on Facebook and let me know. Hit Cloud up on Facebook.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
You can send a message to info@sweetstonecandy.com.
Yeah.
Check out that new website. It's pretty tight.
You should go, I did check it out. That is fun. That is really tight.
You just did that.
I did.
Just did that.
All right, everybody. I want to thank Anita Blunt and I want to thank Irvin Rosenfeld for coming, hanging out, and in the circle tonight. I want to thank DC. I want to thank Clark for coming in.
Wait, time out.
Wait, whoa, hold on. Dawn's got something.
Time out.
Back to checkup.
Shut the front door.
I'm sure you all remember the benefit we had that Clark Nienhuis put on for Joseph Casillas. Right now, I will have Clark tell you in just a minute, but there are, I believe, 5 different drop-off points. They are taking donations to get Joseph's children some Christmas gifts this year, being that, obviously Joseph can't work, and, we'd like to have, everybody would like their kids to have, a nice Christmas. I think they all deserve it.
Exactly.
And I'm going to have Clark tell you where the drop-off points are. I believe it is posted on my Facebook. I can't
also
remember.
on 420 Radio.
Yeah, it's on 420 Radio. You can check that out. Do you know the drop-off point? I know Stephanie's. Stephanie Heft for the Muskegon drop-off. You can reach her at 231-457-8958. Everybody pretty much is on Facebook. Michigan Medimaps is for I believe.
They're over by the Detroit.
Yeah, Flint in that area.
Yes. And then Becca Hollingsworth, she's got the Grand Rapids Lansing area.
And you have Holland.
The Holland area, but I'd be willing to meet up with somebody or whatever, and we can get this done. It's for a great cause.
This is a really great way to pay it forward, guys. These kids deserve a good Christmas. Their family's been through a lot.
How old are the kids?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know how old the kids are?
I do not. One is, I believe, 11.
I know it's posted on the. I know it's on the posting.
You medicated too much to be remembering stuff like that right now.
You have the information.
Yeah, I almost forgot to say something, and then I would have felt like total crap.
You have the information. Just go to 420 Radio WTH 420 Radio 420.com, and you can get that information. I'll make sure that is posted up this evening. So go see that. So now, if anybody doesn't have anything else, I'm going to end the show.
End it.
All right. All right.
I'm done.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. You're in Hanukkah right now because there's less than 8 days. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight on 420 Radio WTXC's Hidden Stash Show. I'm Smokie Kush.
Carlos Mosqueda.
And Dawn.
Peace.
420 Radio. We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.